How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for being here tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live in the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, who was the rocket scientist who told Kamala Harris to go on a media tour? They went from hiding her from the public, not letting her even talk by herself, not even letting her answer questions on the tarmac, to doing the full-fledged media tour. What's up with that? We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Hurricane Milton is upon us. If you are in evacuation zone, if you didn't leave, may God be with you, because it's going to be a direct hit on Florida. Hopefully the damage is not as bad as Hurricane Helene, which is obviously still going to be a problem. We'll talk about the response from the government, the lack of response from the government, the mixed messages from the government a little bit more, a little bit later. Also, Bill Nye, the mechanical engineer guy who says he's a scientist, goes on television talking about climate change. And then that one weatherman that started crying talking about climate change. It's like, look, I understand, Solinsky, don't let good tragedies go to waste, but good grief, man. Can we just do some rescue efforts? Can we do a few rescue efforts in Appalachia before we start to go down the road of politics and trying to push narratives? We'll talk about all those things and a whole lot more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. We got a whole lot going on tonight. There's a whole lot happening. I got a lot of clips. I got a lot of things to share with y'all. But first things first, hopefully everybody's being safe. You got the hurricane coming. Then you have the previous hurricanes that have hit. So hopefully everybody's safe. Wherever you are, you're hunkered down. You got your essentials. Hopefully everybody's good. Okay. And to those out there in Appalachia, we're still with you. Shout out to all the volunteers. One thing I want to say, shout out to the Redneck Army out there. And I say that with love. I'm not trying to be derogatory. These would be some of the best people ever in your life. Appalachia, that's my origin. That's where everybody in my family's from. We're from these mountains. We've been here since the boat. We've been here since Virginia and West Virginia were one state. I got records showing that. We were here during Booker T. Washington. My family knew his family. My family knew Booker T. Washington when he was in Rand, West Virginia. We go all the way back to those mountains. And one thing I know about my people in Appalachia is that we're very kind. We're very generous. We'll give you whatever you need. We'll help you in a time of need. It's not about race or nothing like that. We're all just people making it, looking out for neighbors. If you're a good neighbor, we like you. If you're a bad neighbor, we stay away from you. And if you get too crazy, we will pull the pistol and do something to you, but that's only in emergencies. We're very crafty. In West Virginia, my grandma might get my neighbor to help fix the deck or something like that. That's like a common thing. When it comes to government inadequacies, government not being able to help out, it's like, look, we know that we're on our own. In Appalachia, you got a lot of isolated communities that have been cut off from the government. They have long forgotten about these people out there in these mountains, but they're real. They really do exist. Off in that mountain holler where it might be, 25 people, 30 people, 100 people. They're people. They really matter, but they've been long cut off from the government, long cut off from any kind of attention. So they've been on their own. So a time like this isn't anything new, but you would think that although these people may not necessarily be on the front of everybody's mind, you may not know about them normally in society, you would think the government would have our back a little bit at a time like this. We understand they don't want to invest in modernizing our areas, whatever the case may be, and that might be for the better. But can you at least take that taxpayer money you give into Ukraine, Israel, Taiwan, Lebanon? It's the craziest thing. Like I said in my video today, we got all this money for everybody else, but then when it comes to the American people, it's a bunch of hemming and hawing. I don't understand. I don't get it. Oh, we got to bring Congress back, and this agency funds that agency, not agency this and that, and red tape and bureaucracy. It sounds like excuses to me. It sounds like a bunch of obliviating to me. It sounds like a bunch of word salad and jibber jabber. We're not getting down to the meat and potatoes of helping the American people. Okay. I don't hear all this hemming and hawing when it comes to the migrants. They get whatever they want. Food, clothing, housing, jobs, you name it. Money, straight cash money. $5,000-$10,000 a month. You could do it and not even be a citizen. Come over here illegally, get recruited by companies to come over here, take taxpayer money, take up residences from people that already live there, the natives. It's like an invasion to help the corporations, but it doesn't help us. The government gets their production they want. They get their numbers up. They get to kind of mask how bad the economy is. The corporations get their business and their money. The migrants who come from a third world country with no money, they get jobs to send back to the country of origin. And what do you get the bill? You get the bill to pay for everything, but you get no benefit. Imagine that. Imagine going to a restaurant and you don't get served any food, but at the end of the night, it's a bill for $500. Hey, why am I paying this bill? I didn't even eat anything. I didn't even order anything. Well, look, they did. You're paying for the staff of the restaurant. You're paying for other people to eat for free in the restaurant. You're paying for everybody else to have a good time and the benefit from that money, but you don't get the benefit. Make that make sense. So we're going to get to that a little bit later. We will get to that a little bit later. So yeah, shout out to everybody that is on the same page with me. But before I go too deep into the rabbit hole, we got a lot to get into. Shout out to the sponsors. Y'all know the deal. Thank you to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will always be in the box. Or just go to patriotpost.us in your browser. Tell them that ABL sent you. Also go to my merch website, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Also go to anthonyblogan.com, my regular website. You can, ablmerch.com, anthonyblogan.com. Go to anthonyblogan.com. You can find an article for each video that I produce. And in each article, I got sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from the politically agnostic, Democrat, Republican, local, national, international. I got it right there on the website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. All these things we're talking about right now will be in the description. All links will be in the description. Also, go to the contact page of the regular website, anthonyblogan.com/contact us. There you can find my email address, my snail address, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, and also TikTok. I am on the TikToks because we got a bunch of these smooth brains over there that think they know everything. They think they're rocket scientists. And I just want to bring a little bit of clarity to the conversation, a little bit of truth to the conversation. That's all I want to do. All I want to bring is truth and clarity. But again, all my links will be on the website, anthonyblogan.com. And of course, as I always say, if you're ever wondering if you're conversing with me or not on the interwebs, use a little bit of common sense. I'm not going to come at you talking about some kind of get rich quick scheme, Bitcoin, Forex. It's just not going to happen. Okay. If anybody on YouTube makes a video talking about, hey, give me some money and I can make you a trillionaire, just don't do it. Don't believe in the get rich quick schemes. I would never do nothing like that. I would never get on here and try to get you in the DM in the comments. I ain't gonna do that. If there's ever a thing that I promote, it'd be obviously an ad in the video and I will label it as such. It wouldn't be anything covert. It wouldn't be any kind of exclusive deal that you just get it, because that's not what I'm into. All right. And I do look at the people that I read with ads and I kind of make sure it's the right thing. Anything else, it's not me. Don't get scammed by those in the comment section. Don't get scammed by fake emails. My email is very easy to remember. contact@anthonyblogan.com. It's always on the website. If it's anything else, it's not me. Don't believe it. All right. So yeah, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for being here. We got a whole lot going on. Where did we start? East Coast, Hurricane Milton. Now look, you got some guys riding it out. Have you guys seen Lieutenant Dan? I think he's mostly been on TikTok, but I've seen them all over I've seen him get posted on Twitter and Instagram as well. Lieutenant Dan, he's out there in Tampa riding the storm out on the boat. Now, I understand the thought process. It's like what's going to happen during a hurricane is a lot of wind, a lot of rain, flooding, storm surges, whatever. There can also be tornadoes, obviously, because it's a storm. Any kind of storm, a big storm, you're going to have tornadoes. Like I was saying before, when you see those hook echoes, matter of fact, hold on, can I show a hook echo right quick before we get to this? Just so you know what a tornado looks like on a radar screen. Hold on, let me see if I can look at the live radar of the hurricane right now, and let me see if I can find a hook echo live. I doubt it, but I'm gonna see if I can. But one thing that you got to look out for is the tornadoes. I think there was a tornado outbreak in Florida before the storm made landfall. And people kind of look at landfall as when the storm hits. No, the storm will hit as soon as the rain gets to you. And the storm, quote unquote, hitting as far as the eye, that's the center of the storm. So let's say you're in Tampa and you've not gotten the eye yet. You still didn't got a big piece of the storm. You got wind, rain, storm surge, flooding, flash flooding, tornadoes, lightning, all of that. You get all of that in there. Hold on. So this right here is live. This is a live shot. You can see how big the storm is. So as I was predicting, you're getting some of Valdosta. That's like right there, South Georgia. Tallahassee, they kind of went east Tallahassee. Savannah, Georgia's right here. And you get into Charleston, South Carolina, the Geechee Islands over here. It might bypass that. Now, some say that it could curl up the East Coast because you still got warm water. You still got warm water on the East Coast of Florida, the same as it was in the Gulf on the West Coast. All right. But I'm going to show you what a hook echo is. Let me see if I can find one live. It's kind of one right there. It's kind of a hook echo right in here, obviously, because of the storm. But anywhere where it kind of curls up and you got these really dark patterns like this, really heavy rain areas, that could be considered I'm sure there's something in there because now we're closer to the center of the storm. Okay. Now we're closer to the center of the storm. And I don't even see the eyes not really developed for some reason. Oh, that's interesting. But yeah, anything like that, any kind of weird formation, you're going to see a tornado in your area. So be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for that. But any kind of storm, especially a hurricane, if you're riding it out. And if you hear a train sound, that's how it sounds. I've been in a tornado before and hurricanes. We got hit directly by a tornado in 2020. Now, God was on my side, of course. Shout out to God. Nothing happened to our house. It was just a couple of small branches that fell, and it kind of just leaned up against the gutter system. All it did was bend the gutter. That's all it did, but it didn't actually impact the roof at all. My neighbors, on the other hand, there was a really big tree. The tree was really big and old. The tree probably been there since the Appalachian Mountain formation. Ever since a little neighborhood might have been a creek or something, it was a big old tree right there, humongous. The tree was as wide as the actual house. The tree fell forward rather than falling backward. If it would have fell backward, then the house would have been nothing but a bunch of balsa wood, little sticks all over the place. That's how it would have looked, like one of those little 5-year-old arts and crafts, one of those when it falls apart. That's how it would have been because the tree was so big. But when the hurricane hit, when the tornado hit, I heard it. It was like a train, real loud. But although we live right by a train track, it was a definite difference between this sound and the train. With a train, you're going to hear like dinging, ding, ding. You're going to hear that kind of stuff with the train going by because we live right by a stop. But the tornado, yeah. If you hear that noise, get to the center of the house and please hunker down. Please hunker down. Yeah, so I understand everybody can evacuate. I get it. And I've been in the same situation. And sometimes things hit with no warning, just like a tornado a lot of times hit with no warning. I had no idea there was even going to be bad weather until the tornado hit, and then it hit. But luckily, God was on my side. So yeah, please, if you hear the train sound and you could tell that it's like it's already raining and storming, get to the center of the house. That's a tornado, 100%. And them hook echoes, if you see it on the radar, it's like a little hook in the dark color area. Get ready and get to the center of the house right there. All right. So yeah, shout out to you guys. You know, living in Virginia, all we did was experience hurricanes and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, like all of that, that's common. Like over here, Virginia Beach, Outer Banks, all this stuff. Yeah, that's Hurricane Central. A lot of these were formed. Like this little piece of land right here, Willoughby Spit, was formed by a hurricane. Okay. All of that. And you got a lot of sensitive things over here. You got the base, naval base right there, right on the coast. So if you get a tornado, if you get a hurricane that comes in right here, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. But yeah, shout out to you guys out there in Florida. But back to my main man, Lieutenant Dan. Let's see what he got going on.
All right, it's 9 o'clock. We got 3 hours until high tide. And we're checking in on Lieutenant Dan. His boat has risen a little. Dan! Lieutenant Dan! Are you in there? There he is! Dan! We need an interview! There he is! There's our guy! Yo, look at him! Yay! How we doing? Give the people an update.
So far, so good. We're staying on this side of the pole, but it's actually still low tide, if you can believe that.
He says it's still low tide when it's in 3 hours high tide, but his boat is on the concrete. What do you guys say to people?
Got a little bit of noise, of course, because you got a hurricane coming. So what do y'all think? Would you be out there on the houseboat or this little small boat like this while the hurricane's coming? Or would you just want to go ahead and, relocate? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how everything plays out. We'll see how it plays out. So shout out to Lieutenant Dan. And if you ain't seen Forrest Gump, you probably wouldn't get that reference. Shout out to everybody that's ancient like I am who knows that reference. All right. So this is him kind of tying it down to, it's like a post. It might be a pier right here. I don't know. I can't tell what's happening. He's just putting a tire with a rope. Is that going to secure your boat? I don't know.
It is really flooded pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, it's a pier right there, it looks like. Or a dock. I don't know, man. I feel like the storm surge is going to lift you up above that pier, that post right there. That it might be about 5 foot above the water. Your storm surge is going to take you above that right there. If the storm surge is going to be 8 to 12 foot on the coast, and you right there on the coast, you might be 2 to 3 foot above tide. So that's going to float you right above that, right above it. But I hope my man is okay and he makes it. So shout out to him. And shout out to you guys who are out there. Oh, we got a little bit more preparation. So my man right here is spraying Flex Seal. Flex Seal, this is a compound, of course, to keep something sealed. I've used Flex Tape. I've not used Flex Seal. Now, Flex Tape works great. I done fixed cars with Flex Tape. Okay, your bumper done fell off or something in traffic. Hey, I got some Flex Tape. I'll get you together. Flex Tape is great. And the Flex Seal, I think, will also work well. So you see it's like black spray paint. Now, that's Flex Seal to seal up. Like if you got a crack in the window or something like that, spray that Flex Seal on it, and it's not going to leak. It's not going to get any worse.
Here we are with the Flex Seal King, using his Flex Seal on top of the spray foam to stop the floodwaters from going into the motorcycle showroom here. This rubberized coating will keep the spray foam from falling apart, and it will save the business.
Now it's waterproof.
Now that section is waterproof, and we're going to do another section.
And my man has on the Flex Seal outfit. I didn't even notice that. He's wearing the Flex Seal outfit. He has on the Flex Seal shirt and the Flex Seal hat. So if this doesn't work, that's going to be really bad. It's going to be a really bad ad. But I think that it will. That foam and that Flex Seal is going to be a pretty powerful barrier. And they got what they call that, the Aqua Gate, whatever that is, to protect the hospital. I'll show that as well in a minute. But yeah, I got to see the before and after.
Ed Castro, the Flex Seal King. of Daytona Beach.
Because I'm sure you got to have hurricane resistant proof or whatever you want to call it glass. And you got to have the foam and the flex seal all work together. Because if the glass fails, it doesn't matter what the flex seal does. But if the glass works and the flex seal has a problem, there could still be an issue with flooding if it gets in through the cracks. And what I mean by if the glass fails, even if it's just like a little crack.
And listen, if you
So yeah, shout out to everybody out there in Florida making that work. I gotta show the hospital right quick. Hold on. What was it called? The Aqua Gate? Something. Okay. Here, Aqua Fence.
Back
So here we go. This is the Aqua Fence that they installed.
up. They're doing the final preparations today in which they will close off the entire hospital. It's a really long process, but they have about 40, 50 guys out here patching it all up, making sure it's good. I know we're supposed to get 15-foot storm surge, and I think the Aqua Fence goes up to 10 feet at the highest area, 9, 10 feet. So will it hold? I don't know. I think the wind might be probably the worst part. I know it can definitely hold the water because we saw with the last storm, but the wind is just so bad, 150 mile hours. So I really hope it holds. I don't think they're evacuating. Like I said in a previous video, they really can't evacuate. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. It's going to be pretty crazy. It varies in different sizes depending on the location. Obviously at areas with higher ground, it gets less, but I think all around it equals the same height. So once it's all sealed off, the only way we'll be in will be through the catwalks that surround the building.
So this Aqua Fence is at Tampa General Hospital. It's right there on the water, and it's like below sea level. So yeah, that's that. That's that. Now, and it does work really well. I think I have a video of it working. Matter of fact, hold on. This, I believe, was during Helene. So it just happened. They just used it and it worked pretty well. Let's check it out.
They worked fast
Right there.
to build a wall against the storm.
It takes 3 full days for our team to set it up, about 60 guys.
It's called the Aqua Fence, 1,000 feet long, 9 feet high, designed to protect Tampa General Hospital from a 15-foot storm surge.
We're a 100-year-old hospital and we're right here on the bay. We can't evacuate. There's not enough hospital beds in the region to take our patients.
At a cost of $1 million, they say each time they put it up, they improve it. But the real force that holds it up is when floodwater piles onto the horizontal base.
So the weight of the water actually supports the wall. And we bolted into the ground to keep the wind from blowing it over before the water gets here.
We're told the Aqua Fence has been used for years in places like North.
All right, I got to show the actual fence working. And you'll kind of see what I'm talking about if you've not seen it before. Let me see. Aqua Fence during Helene. All right, there we go. So this was during Helene. Now you can see all the water right outside the fence. It's at night, so it's kind of hard to see, but you can still understand what's going on. That's all water out there. See the shimmering and the waves, water. You can see how the streets and everything right outside of it is all washed out. See, that works really well, like a charm. Inside the gate, no problem. Outside the gate, a moat. If that gate wasn't there, it'd be all that water right in there. So shout out to the Floridians, the Florida man, the Florida man team making it happen, making it work. Yeah, walls do work. Exactly, Audrey. Walls do work. Shout out to the walls. Absolutely. Now, my man right here is trying to protect his Corvette. 9 miles from the water in the Cat 5. What do you think?
Category 5 Hurricane, brand new Corvette, 9 miles from the water.
So if you can't see the screen, he put on the car cover, and then he has this big sheet of plastic, like a just to wrap it up. like Tupperware or something like this. Finished product. So what do y'all think? You think it's going to work? Think it's going to hold? Looking like an Easter basket right there. A fresh Walmart Easter basket wrapped on up. Will it work? We'll see. I hope it does. I'm wishing everybody the best. But that's a pretty smart way to go about it. Just wrap it in plastic to keep the water from getting inside. Oh, if you got an electric vehicle, RIP. Hey, if your electric vehicle gets any of that salt water from the ocean inside, man, you're talking about you have a nuclear weapon. That thing will burn as hot as the sun underwater, submerged. Maybe not quite as hot as the sun, but hot enough to the point where you can't do nothing about it. You pretty much got to let it burn. They got these new blankets. A lot of the fire departments have these new blankets so they could just smother the fire. They can try, but it's going to be bad. If that battery gets that salt water inside, you got a bomb. It's going to be a fire. Your garage will burn. Your house will burn down. So yeah, RIP. Matter of fact, if you're gonna just hang out, get your electric vehicle out of your garage, because when it sets on fire, it'll be outside rather than inside your house. So maybe, I don't know. Anyway, maybe you could save your house from burning in the case that it doesn't flood. So here's another thing somebody has done. I think I've seen this in a few places. I don't know what's going on here. This was like ratchet straps or something on top of their house, going from what appears to be the front yard to the backyard and over the roof. So I guess the objective is, okay, let's strap the roof down so the roof doesn't fly away. Listen, I understand the sentiment. I get it 100%. But if you got a hurricane coming in, the wind blowing your roof off is one matter, but you also got that water. If that water gets in there, it's over. The roof at that point will become inconsequential. The roof might be where you be on top of waving for help if you just riding it out. But hey, man, shout out to them. I hope that works, and I hope they don't get flooded, because the water will just it'll neutralize the effects of the straps on top of the roof. All right, hurricane straps. That's hurricane straps. That's right. All right. So yeah, shout out to the straps. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling. Now, somebody wants to do a photo shoot during a hurricane. These people are the worst. Okay. So we got my man right here doing some kind of videography, some kind of vlogging. Okay. Some kind of vlogging. And there's a couch for some reason on this rocky beach. And people are just behind it. I'm not sure what's happening.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so, and that's during the beach cleanup. During beach cleanup, you're gonna have a photo shoot right there on the water. All right, so I'd rather not see that if I'm out there trying to clean up. But hey, man, people, you got that right, I suppose, to be out there. All right, shout out to them. Let's keep on rocking here. Oh, speaking about EVs, one of the main reasons that I can't do an EV, and I thought about getting an EV before, right when I first had got this house I'm in now, about 4 years ago. I had it built, and I told them to put a 240 in the garage because I thought about getting a Tesla, so I can just set my thing up right there and have my charging right by the door. I can just charge it up, go in the house, whatever. But then I did my research, and I'm like, it takes how long to charge? Even on the supercharger, the battery is pretty much a bomb to get any kind of water in it. It was just so many things that I did not like about the electric vehicles. So I'm like, you know what? I'd rather not do that. And one of the main reasons was the time you're going to spend in the charger. Listen, when I'm trying to fuel up on the road, right? I'm driving somewhere, might be a long drive, 5, 6, 7, 8 hour drive, whatever it is. I want to be able to fuel up quickly and go about my way. I ain't trying to be up there going through a bunch of rigmarole to get a little bit of fuel to get back on the road and get to my destination. I don't want to go through all of this stuff right here. Rushing me. Oh, you at 100%? Get off the pump. Watch this.
It's 100% respectful, then I'll talk to you in a
It's
respectful manner.
100%.
Look, when my car
There's
done,
100%.
when it turn off,
It's
it's at 100%. Okay.
It's 100%.
Bro, you better keep walking, man.
It's
You better
100%.
fucking keep walking, man.
I'm gonna go tell them. And
I don't give a fuck who you.
Sorry for the cussing, but you get the idea. I ain't gonna put too much more of this. It goes back and forth and back and forth. Now listen, the whole thing was this. Hey, your car's at 100%, get off the actual charger. But the guy's saying, well, whatever it's doing is not finished. I don't know how these electric vehicles work. Can you just take the thing off the charger? It just have to be finished. Like, I don't understand what's really going on. But regardless, it's going to take time. And on a lot of these chargers, people are waiting. I've shown it before where it'll be a charging station at a mall in the back of the mall with like 8 stations, 8 receptacles, and it'll be a line of people. 12 o'clock at night coming to the station because they got to charge the car. They don't live in the house with a charger. They probably live in an apartment. There's no space in the apartment charger if they have one, which they probably don't. So they got to come to some random place behind the Belks or a Cracker Barrel and charge their car for 45 minutes. Anybody got no time for that. And of course, it's going to lead to frustration. And don't let it be something where you got to evacuate. Oh my God. Hey, what if you have to evacuate Florida right now in an electric vehicle? Do you feel confident? Do you feel confident? Because you're going to be on the road for a while and you got to drive a long way and you might not be able to actually recharge. And if you, the line, let me just say this. If the line to get gas is down the block, how long is the line to charge your vehicle, if there even is one? A lot of these places don't have no power. It's not even no power to charge a vehicle. You pretty much out of luck. So, nah, I don't want a vehicle that's going to fail me during an emergency. I don't want a vehicle that's going to take forever to get a charge. I don't want a vehicle that is suspect in treacherous weather. I don't want to have some water get into the battery and then all of a sudden I got a whole a nuclear warhead underneath my feet. I don't want it to happen. So yeah, if you got an EV, shout out to you. If you like it, I love it. But I don't think they are really practical vehicles in the sense of an emergency, trying to get somewhere very quickly. They're not very practical. If you just shuttling around town in your Tesla, it's okay. But if you got to go somewhere right now and you got to fight traffic, weather, long lines to try and charge a vehicle up, you're going to have a problem. You got a problem. If anything, what I would do is have 2 vehicles, one EV and then one electric, not electric, internal combustion engine, gas powered vehicle. To have both electric, you kind of at a disadvantage, in my humble opinion. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That helped me out tremendously. Yeah, driving the EV in below zero, or if it's really hot, 120 degrees or something like that, that battery's going to be screaming for a little bit of cool down. And if it gets too hot and it runs away, now you gotta bomb again. Now you gotta bomb. Electric Mustang, the Mach-E, the little hatchback situation. I would never. Okay, so we got a banner. Shout out to Kalshi. We got a banner looking at the odds. Okay, who's going to win the election? And the odds, they're blasting it on this billboard in New York City. 51% Trump, 52% Trump. So it's live. It's saying these are the odds of one winning over the other. And I think it might even be more than that. One thing that Kamala is doing is representing herself poorly. Why? I want to know. If anybody has the answer, I want to know. Who was the rocket scientist that told Kamala, you know what, go out there on the media tour. We know you did very badly during anytime you spoke over the past few years, you've done poorly. But we're going to put you out there anyway. I don't know who the rocket scientist was who let her do that, but it was a bad decision. We'll get to that a little bit later. Here's a skit somebody's doing. What it says on the front: what we think we look like putting out an election sign in their yard. and you got two dudes, probably some LGBTQ element of P. You already know how it is, right? These are the guys talking about Black Lives Matter. These guys right here will live in Atlanta, Georgia, right? And in Buckhead, in a nice neighborhood, you pass their house, it'd be an LGBT flag, Harris Waltz, Black Lives Matter, all that good stuff. Let you be in there at the wrong time of the night, Mr. Black Man, 7 o'clock p.m. in your regular vehicle. They're calling the police. Who's this? Who is this guy in my neighborhood? Get him out. That's how they are. But let me just let them do their little skit, shall we? RIP to the headphone users. Sorry for the loud noise. Yeah, that was crazy loud. RIP. And then this is what the neighbors see. So now they're going to do a whole LGBT dance routine. Some kind of Broadway type situation. Yes, that's pretty much what I see when I see y'all. I see y'all doing show tunes and jazz hands and all that kind of stuff when you got a Harris Waltz sign. That's exactly what I see. So I'm glad you're able to be self-aware. Looking like, hey, that's who Pete Buttigieg thinks he is with his husband. He thinks they're them. So yeah, shout out to them. Yes, if I see that in your yard, that's what I imagine is going on. That's what I think y'all doing. I see two men be in the gym all the time. Y'all living together. That's gonna be pretty much your scene every night in the living room. That's what I think. Now, the older version of that is Mr. Keith Olbermann. Okay, let's see what he says about what's happening with Elon. Okay, so now I guess he's got a beef with Elon Musk more than Trump, perhaps. Check it out.
Time to cancel all the contracts and reassess his immigration status and hopefully deport him the hell out of the country. And if we can't do that by conventional means, President Biden, you have presidential immunity. Get Elon Musk the F out of our country and do it now.
Okay, so let's get Elon Musk out of the country. Let's deport Elon Musk. Sir, are you being racist against immigrants, against lawful immigrants? Are you trying to deport lawful immigrants? Are you trying to say that since Biden has immunity, because you're mad about the whole Trump thing, I suppose, because you guys all are, so you want him to use that immunity to get him out of the way? If Biden deported Elon Musk by way of immunity, you'd be okay with it. But if Trump just has immunity, you don't like that. It's funny how that works. So yeah, there you go. My goal when I get to be all grown up is to not be Keith Olbermann. That's my goal. Okay. So yes, I think that should be all of our goal, to age gracefully and not lose our marbles. All right. Now, on the contrary, we got regular people talking about what's going on with Kamala. Let's watch this.
Hey, Jenny, did you?
All right, hold on. Let me start from the top.
Hey, Jenny, did you do your chores today?
Well, I grew up in a middle-class family. My mom, she was Indian, and I grew up in a middle-class family, and we are proud of our generation, and we all had small, little towns, and we all grew up having small shops.
Jenny, did you finish your schoolwork yet?
Well, I grew up in a middle-class family, and we had small businesses. We had small businesses. It was great.
Jenny, I thought I told you to take out the dog.
Well, I grew up in the middle-class family, and we made collard greens, but they were so popular that we made them in the bathtub. Don't you just love fried chicken?
So yeah, the people can see what's going on. Hey, shout out to the young lady. She was right on point. And shout out to Dad for obviously educating his daughter properly. Shout out to y'all. I love seeing that. That is what we think about Kamala Harris. That's how she appears to regular normies. All right. That's how she appears. Now we're going to get to Kamala in a minute, but we got to go back out to this, some more Kamala supporters. You saw the first Kamala supporter I showed, the LGBT, jazz hands, Pete Buttigieg, lookalikes. Then you got a young lady who's smart, and her dad is smart too. Good family, good people, like how we should be in this country, right? Now let's go back to some more Harris Waltz supporters and see what they say. This person is going to come by and ask them why they should vote for Kamala. Let's see what the response is, shall we?
Hi, can you tell me why I should vote for Harris, please? Well, just tell me. I'm not excited. I'm not, but tell me. I need a 30-second elevator speech, please.
For Harris, you want to vote for her because she's going to put in a $6,000 child tax credit.
Oh boy, my. You know, but this is what happens though, because most people don't have the time to really look into politics like that. So all they're going to do is turn on TV, and whatever the TV tells them, they're just going to repeat it, and they're going to believe it. That's all. And if the TV can tell them to love Trump, as they did prior to 2015, and it was never a problem. But when he came down the escalator in 2015, and they realized he could win, all of a sudden, the message was demonize Trump on television. So that's what happened, and then they accepted it. And then when they go on TV and say things about Kamala, they accept it. They repeat it. Oh, she's going to give $6,000 for a child tax credit. Huh? What? How's that going to benefit you, lady? You're not having any kids. You got Grant, you Meemaw. How is it going to benefit you at all?
For middle-class families, she's going to bring taxes down for the middle class.
What about all the kids she lost at the border? What about all the kids she lost at the border being human and child trafficked?
That's completely a lie.
Oh my gosh!
You just did this to be rude.
I'm actually a journalist, and I'm a We the People. But this is exactly how most of the Kamala Harris people act, and I just wanted to get on.
Now, I mean, if it was me, I wouldn't have done all that confronting. I would just let them talk. I would let them talk. I would have had a conversation. Yeah, but it's as soon as she spoke, I already know what it is. At that point, I'm like, okay, I get it. I understand. You're watching TV. Yeah, TV's the devil. I don't watch TV at all. I don't watch any TV. I don't even watch Fox. I don't watch no TV at all. My TV, if I got company or something like that, yeah, okay, let's watch a movie or something. Okay, cool. But I ain't going to turn on the idiot box and just sit there and veg out. I refuse. Because it's just so much programming. If you watch TV, you're going to be just like them. Oh, child tax credit, insulin, middle-class family, you're going to be saying that stuff because you're going to be programmed. Now, let's get to Kamala. This is Kamala and Doug Emhoff. I'm not sure what they're doing here. I don't know. Hey, you guys, I'm going to play this video. I want you to tell me what they're doing because I don't know what's going on. All right, check it out. Now, I guess it's supposed to be shoveling or digging. Like, what are they doing? Maybe they're trying to plant this tree right here. Doug, have you never seen a tree before? I mean, or a shovel or some soil. You just kind of scooting the dirt with the shovel. Like, what in the California is going on here? Not California, Los Angeles, because the Californians up in the farms know how to do this, but the Los Angeles lawyers like Kamala and Doug don't know nothing. I tell you what, if it was a pair of boxing gloves and a statue of a young lady right there, he'd go to town. He'd be looking like Iron Mike Tyson. He'd be looking like Evander Holyfield, like Mike Tyson, early Mike Tyson. He'd be out there like that with the boxing gloves and the mannequin of the young lady. But the shovel, he looking like a whole space alien who has never in his life held that before. Yeah, can't get dirty. That's right, can't get dirty. That's somebody said Barry in 60 Minutes guy. That's funny. That's funny. I don't know why you would do that if you don't even want to. That was crazy. Yeah, terrible photo op, but that's what they do. That is what they do. All right, hold on. Well, we got more. We have a whole lot more. Let me get to my next thing here. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay. Now we got an ad from Trump War Room. Let me see what it says. RIP to that phone users in advance.
You have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years.
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
I stood there on the tarmac watching you check your watch.
The chaotic and deadly U.S. evacuation from
Afghanistan. Oh, yeah, hey, you know what? That's a big one. I didn't even think about that one when I was doing my video. Let's start from the top. This was on The View. And she also got asked this in a few places. She was asked the same question on Colbert. She was asked the same question a lot. Hey, what would you have done differently during this administration?
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
I stood there on the tarmac watching you check your watch.
The chaotic and deadly U.S. evacuation from Afghanistan stunned Americans and the world and cost the lives of 13 U.S. soldiers.
Would you have done something differently?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
More than 13,000 illegal immigrants convicted of murder have been caught at the border and then released into the United States.
An Afghan national is in custody today after being accused of plotting an election day terrorist attack. The suspect entered the U.S. on a special immigrant visa.
Gut-wrenching new details in the murder of Georgia nursing student Laken Riley. The illegal immigrant suspect, who cops say committed the heinous murder, is a Venezuelan national who crossed the unsecured southern border back in 2022.
Two men investigators say are in the country illegally from Venezuela are charged with capital murder in the death of Jocelyn Nungaray.
A fifth illegal immigrant accused of attacking two New York City police officers over the weekend showed no remorse or regret.
Would you have done something differently?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Only 18% say the economy is in excellent or good condition.
US inflation has hit a new 40-year high, increasing by 9.1% over the financial year.
The cost of homes have spiked. Home buyers need to earn 80% more than they did in 2020.
80% more in 2020 to afford a house, which you got to earn. So there's quite a few things that she should have done differently, or she may want to do differently if she's being honest. Okay, the main thing, that the Afghanistan withdrawal, which was catastrophic. A lot of people died. A lot of Americans died as a result of that. RIP to them. Then you got the migrant crisis. You got the inflation. And let's not forget, Kamala Harris was the deciding vote on the Inflation Reduction Act, which caused a lot of the misery we got going on right now. So when you say you wouldn't do anything differently, how can you say that and be serious? And if you are serious, then we got a problem.
To afford a house.
Were you the last person in the room? Yes.
So there you go. Shout out to and that's all from her. That's all clips from her. These are all things that happened during her time in the White House, which is right now. These are all the things that's going on. Okay. And of course, there's a big issue with the hurricane response, right? There's a big issue with that. Matter of fact, hold on. I'm gonna play that video that I played today from the Breakfast Club about the young guy on there talking about he's scared because of the hurricane coming. Sorry for this. He's scared about the hurricane coming.
Yo, man.
And he also doesn't like the response from the government. I'm gonna play that. But first, I gotta play something else. Okay. Now, some are gonna say, well, look, ABL, they're getting the immediate assistance, the $750. They're getting that right away, man. All they got to do is apply for it and they'll be able to get it. Meanwhile, you're a migrant coming over here, no citizenship, barely in some kind of legal status, illegal, whatever. You're getting all kind of Visa cards, debit cards, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 on a debit card. What do they call them in Springfield? The magic money cards, because it never run out. You get endless money and you getting jobs, housing, all of that. You getting whatever you want. You getting to drive a vehicle with no license. You can't drive. You're running over kids and curbs and houses, all of that. You want to get $750 as an American citizen during a time of need, your house washed away, family members deceased, pets gone, your whole life gone. You can't even get that. Now, let's watch this. Okay, here's an example of the whole application, approval, and denial process. Watch this.
Literally, what is FEMA? So my daughter, whose house got completely wiped out, she has no flood insurance, meets with a FEMA person, applies for everything doesn't get the $750 that Kamala says that she's supposed to get, gets approved for $300 for personal items. What is that going to do? That's literally what she got. Her entire first floor is wiped out. We hauled everything off. It's gone. So what is FEMA? And being a mayor,
So they didn't even give her the full $750.
they didn't even give her $750. Denied the $750.
They gave her $300.
They gave her $300. That wouldn't even cover what's in the refrigerator. It's literally.
So what are we saying? So this is the mayor of Newland, North Carolina. Now, some are going to say, well, that's the mayor's daughter, ABL. She got money. Does she? Newland, North Carolina, the population, 719 people. Okay, we're talking about a small town in Appalachia. This is not a rich man, and his daughter, I don't suppose, is necessarily a rich person. So what are we really saying? We're talking about regular people who are needing this money, and they are often being denied, or they may not get the full amount. But the migrants, it's never a question about how much money they get. It's never a question. Voldemort Zelensky come over here. It's never a question about how much money he needs. Hey, I need $20 billion right now. Get it to me. Okay, cool. No oversight, no questions. He could be out there high on cocaine, scratching his nose, sniffing, acting the fool, nasal discharge, all that kind of stuff. But he says, yo, I want $20 billion more. Okay, boom, take that. Hey, I'm an American. I lost my house in a 1,000-year hurricane in the Appalachian Mountains. Can I get $700? Here go $300. Take that. $300. ABL, they're getting help. The federal government's there, are they? I can't tell. Yes, I said Voldemort Zelensky. I sure did. Shout out to Voldemort. All right, let's keep on going here. Let's get to this one. Now, this is a young man out there in Tampa, Florida, talking about the situation.
This Tone from Tampa, man. Tone from Tampa. What's up, brother?
Oh, and before I continue, somebody says it right there. The $750 is a loan, and you're not guaranteed the whole $750. Failure to pay their seizure. I don't know about seizing the land. I don't know about that part.
Yo, man, this Tone from Tampa, man. Tone from Tampa. What's up, brother? How was everything out there? It's a little light rain right now, heavy wind, but I'm gonna just keep it a buck, man. This ain't where it's at, man.
Yeah,
everybody.
Yeah, I'm gonna say y'all right in the middle of it. The eyes hitting Tampa from what the map shows right now.
Man, bro, my heart, bro, is in my ass, bro. I'm scared, man. And then we still recovering from Helene, and it's like, bro, I want to get this off my chest, bro. This government is playing in our faces, man. It don't matter if it's Republican or Democrat. They playing in our faces, bro. You get Ukraine come over here, they get what they want. You get immigrants come over here, they get what they want. And you got people being denied these FEMA applications that you talking about the other day, Charlamagne. Mm-hmm. People being denied, bro.
Didn't we just say that? People are being denied the applications. So it's not even, they're talking about, oh, you'll get $700 now and then you get some more later. You can't even get the $700. So if you can't even get the first little bit of money, why would I think you're going to help me out when it comes to something else? Like, I don't really understand.
But you getting these migrants coming over here, $10,000 food stamps, bro. Goddamn $5,000 cash stipends, man. This shit hurting, bro. We finna get ready to damn near die, bro. A lot of people couldn't afford to evacuate. And this government planning our face, man.
Damn.
I feel for you, bro.
All this, look, these guys would be so vocal if it was something about Trump. Oh, Orange Man's bad, and he did this, he did that. They'd be all on it, being very vocal, being very animated. But when it comes to this, oh, man, that's crazy. Oh, I'm sorry to hear it. Huh? Cowards, total cowards. And DJ Envy ain't nothing but a criminal anyway. He about to get locked up for the whole real estate scam with Big Pun. Okay, you over there stealing people's life savings, talking about someone's going to be real estate investment. These guys are so bad. This is why people are shying away from mainstream media, iHeartRadio, mainstream radio. They are getting away from that and going more to the independent people because we keep it real. These guys bought and paid for.
I totally understand, my brother.
Absolutely.
It don't matter what they is, Democrat, Republican, they all treason, man. They all about money, bro. None of these people care about American people, bro. This hurt, bro. This hurt, bro. People wake up every day just want to live their life, bro. And you got these greedy snakes, man. You got these greedy snakes call themselves government service people, bro. And they don't give a damn, bro. They don't give a damn about the migrants coming over here. They using them too, man. This ain't right, man.
You're absolutely right, my
Damn,
brother.
I can't wait to God come back, man.
To hear what he said you can't wait till God come back. He's absolutely 100% right. Because at some point, I don't know who else can help a lot of people other than the Most High.
Well, we're praying for you, brother.
Thank y'all, man.
Try to stay as safe as possible,
Yeah,
brother.
man.
And if you're in Tampa, man, if you're in Tampa, listen, y'all.
Now, I'll pause it right there. But look, on these programs, a lot of these urban programs, whatever, they don't want to criticize the left at all. They don't want to do that. Remember, Charlemagne is the guy who was there when Joe Biden he said the infamous words, hey, if you don't want to vote for me or for Trump, you're not black. He said that to Charlemagne back, 2020? He said that to him right when they were doing the basement campaign. That was him. Charlemagne, you should be the main one criticizing the man who said that to you. He got on your platform and embarrassed you as a man, disrespected you. He was racist toward you. And his current administration is doing the worst job we've seen in many years. People being ignored, whether it be black, white, whatever. If the government is doing their job, they're not doing a very good job of reassuring the people. Why are we scrambling to get $700 when the migrants get tens of thousands of dollars? How are you going to explain that, Charlemagne? Charlemagne, you were disrespected, dehumanized, belittled, treated as a child on TV by Joe Biden. Joe Biden is ruining the country and you want to be milquetoast with it? You soft. That's why we don't respect you guys. The content creator guys don't respect y'all because y'all are soft. Y'all don't want to stand up for nothing. You just do whatever they tell you to do from up top. We don't respect that. We don't. Okay, that's why people don't look at you guys as an authoritative source. They don't take you seriously because you do stuff like this. It's disgusting, to be quite frank, but I'm getting triggered, so I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That will help me out tremendously. Okay. Let's get to Kamala a little bit, shall we? I know I've been talking about Kamala a lot, but we got a lot for Kamala because we got our whole media tour she did, right? One of the worst media tours ever. Okay, this has got to be real bad. It'd be like if O.J. Simpson went on the media tour right after the whole Fort Bronco situation, talking about, yeah, I did it, so what? I can't think of anything that you could do that's worse than what she's doing. Everyone knows or has a suspicion about her being bad and not being able to talk. This just confirms it. You're not helping yourself at all. But hey, now they got this guy to help her. They got this guy to help her. Tampon Tim, look at this. Limping and stuff. Hey man, what is going on? What you were playing pickleball or something like this and you twisted your ankle? Were you trying to shovel with the wife beater and Kamala and you threw your back out? What's going on? You about to be hunched over the same as you're about to be hunched over just as Joe Biden is. And you're like just 60 and you already hunched over. Like, that's crazy. So listen, I don't want that guy to be anywhere near the White House. You limping already, that's a bad sign. Okay, now we got Kamala on the Call Her Daddy podcast, which was, I don't know. Listen, Call Her Daddy. Do you guys watch that? I've never seen the episode of Call Her Daddy. I've heard about it. I know it's a big podcast on Spotify, but maybe I got to be a Taylor Swift listening 28-year-old white woman to be the target demographic, I suppose. Maybe if I got a blonde ponytail and I go into Starbucks, they're going to give me a Call Her Daddy a flyer with a QR code on it, and I can go to their podcast and listen to it. But if I don't have that kind of aesthetic going on, they're not going to tell me nothing about it. But apparently it is a pretty big podcast. And of course, you got to reach every group. You got to reach the Swifties and whatnot, get everybody. So she goes on that podcast. Let's check this out.
What made you want to do Call Her Daddy today?
Well, I think you and your listeners have really got this.
We shouldn't have been there. None of us should have been there.
Communicate with people is to be real. You know?
I ain't gonna play this right here because it's a little bit too edited with other stuff. But I guess the point of that particular clip was, hey, we got bigger fish to fry. But let's get to this right here.
I mean, daddy gang, to put it in our TikTok terms. I have seen girls on the street walk up to men and be like, do you know where a tampon goes? Do you know how many tampons we use? Do you even know how, do you know what a X or Y or Z is of a part of our, and they don't know the answer.
I was the first vice president or president to ever in office go to a reproductive health care clinic, ever.
I mean, daddy gang.
She can't talk, really. I don't know what that is. She's not a very good speaker in general. Being able to get words out, she has a problem. And when she's able to get words out, it's word salad. So not only are you struggling to get words out, you're struggling to make coherent, you're struggling to formulate coherent sentences. And that's not going to improve at all. That's not going to improve. Okay, let's keep on going here. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Let's check this out right here. Getting a little bit of kickback from the people. They're not really feeling what's going on.
What's that been like? Well, honestly, when we went up the first day, I was familiar because I used to live in Asheville. And we made the first stop in Morganton, and MJ and I drove up, and I was like, where's they drop off? I need to back up where they drop off their supplies. Me thinking that they're gonna have all these supplies, and she come out, one of our community members come out, and she was like, oh my goodness, I'm so glad y'all here. Come to find out we were the only one.
Really?
We were the only one, and they had 3 tents.
So they didn't even have a center of where to do it, because you were the only one.
We were the only one. They had 3 tents set up outside, and I guess maybe they had about 20 cases of water, and that was it. And what really got me was the 16-year-old daughter came up and seen when we take pads and put like 5 or 10 in a bag.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh my God, we got some pads. And as a female, we know how valuable that is. And she said, because they were in Morganton, not in Asheville, that no one had brought them anything.
So nobody's coming and nobody bringing them nothing. Okay, and that is what we're talking about. The government, listen, the news, when the people like her are saying nobody's bringing us anything, ain't nobody really trying to help. When they say that, the media and the politicians will try to say, oh, well, FEMA is there. They are helping. We gave $200 million. Okay, that's fine. But the people are saying we don't have anything. We're not getting anything. So there's a disconnect. There's something wrong. There's something going on. Now, let's just be honest about what's really happening rather than trying to act like we're wrong for even raising the question. You see, that's the whole thing. So shout out to her for being brave to say that. Now, this clip was crazy. I did a short video on this. Shout out to the TikTok gang. Shout out to you guys on the TikTok, Instagram, all of that. I did this short video for those platforms. Kamala did an interview with 60 Minutes, and there was one version of one answer that was put out on social media, if I'm not mistaken. And later, they totally changed the answer. It wasn't just a matter of editing a word out. Let's say she may have stumbled or whatever. It wasn't even just editing a word out. They completely changed her answer to a question, which is crazy because here's what happened. They put the first version out and we said word salad. They said, that doesn't look too good. That got a bad response. Let's just change it to a whole new answer after the first answer already got released to the public. What? How does it make any sense? Listen, when there's an interview, it should be an interview. Ask a question, I answer the question. This is why these things should be live, because you can't just change your answer from a live video. And you would think you can't change an answer from an already published interview, but they did. Let's watch. And shout out to Maze Moore for this mashup on the Twitters. Now, you're going to hear the first question and answer and the same question, but a different answer.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
Well, Bill, the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region.
But it's
okay. So that was a dumpster, not dumpster fire, word salad, straight word salad of an answer, per usual. What did she say right there? I don't know. So that version was released. I saw that version. I saw it on the internet. I was retweeting and everything. I saw that version. They changed it after I saw it to a whole new answer. Watch.
It seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
We are not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
So what in the world is that? Listen, I got a question. I don't care if you left, right, Democrat, Republican. Have you ever seen that before? Have you ever seen an interview go live to the public? Everything is what it is. You got this question, this answer, this question, this answer. Have you ever seen them put out the whole thing, boom, and then change something later? I've never in my life seen that. Oh, it's a conspiracy. We got it right here on the video. This is real. That actually happened. I mean, listen, this election interference, lying, this is yet another reason why we hate the mainstream media. I showed you earlier with Charlamagne and them giving them fake responses to my man talking about the government is not, they're ignoring us. They're not helping us with anything. People are getting denied applications. And then they want to say, oh man, that's crazy. Oh man, I'm praying for you. Milquetoast answer. And then right here, 60 Minutes literally changed the answer. They say, you know what? That don't look too good, man. That's word salad. Let's just fix it. I mean, I will never trust the mainstream media again. Never will I trust them. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. And I tell y'all that. I'm like, look, don't believe them at all. Don't believe me. Do your own research. Because when you do your own research, you're able to see what the actual first answer was compared to the second answer. So that right there, what does it tell you? I kind of want to talk a little bit more about this. What does this tell you? What this tells you is that they play games. These are actors you're seeing on television. They're rehearsing this. They got to go through several answers during the taping process, and they pick what sounds the best. This is why during that first interview with her and Tampon Tim, and by the way, Tampon Tim was here on that interview as well. I lie to you not. And they put him on there. We'll get to that in a minute. The first interview with her and Tampon Tim on CNN, I believe, in Atlanta, they were parked in downtown Atlanta for 7 hours to do that interview, which had her speak for 18 minutes. What does that mean? She spoke for more than that, but they cut it down to what made it look the best. And it still was bad, and they still had to put filler in it, and they still had to have Tampon Tim talk about whatever, about being the football coach and whatnot. I mean, bunch of actors, exactly. Bunch of actors. Hollywood. Now, here's something else. This was crazy. This moment was absolutely nuts. Kamala, I tell you what, you are a wealth of content. I ain't never gonna, I mean, I don't want you to be here. I'd rather you just, be in California with Willie Brown hanging out. Just go do that rather than being here. But since you're here, I got to talk about you. You're trying to be the president. I got to talk about you now.
To the people of Florida, and in particular, the people of the Tampa region, we urge you to take this storm seriously. To the people.
What's wrong with her? She can't even talk. She can't even get words out. I mean, if this kind of nervous, unsure, weak energy is going to be our leader, I don't want it, man. I don't care if this is a black person, white person, Indian person, Jamaican person, Canadian person, black person, white person, Irish slave owner, I don't care what it is. This energy is not going to do it. Her and Tampon Tim is not going to make it happen.
To the people of Florida, and in particular the people of the Tampa region, we urge you to take this storm seriously.
Look, is she drinking? I feel like underneath this this lower third, she got a whole big jug that got 3 X's on it, like old cartoon days. Okay, you got a whole big jug with a handle as big as this water bottle, and they got 3 X's on it. Yeah, burping and everything, like Barney Rubble from The Simpsons. Burping and everything. It's like, man, come on. This is crazy. And even on SNL, when they did the skit, they had her drinking. Hold on, let me see if I can find that. And she was drinking on TV. She had a beer with Stephen Colbert.
We'd also like.
Hold on, let me see if Look. Oh, there we go. Look. So of course they got a bottle of Josh. A bottle of Josh red wine is funny.
Look, Tim'll be fine. It's not like he's gonna say something crazy.
So, I guess that's what.
I've become friends with school shooters.
Oh, that's supposed to be Doug Emhoff. And he got Maya Rudolph. Shout out to Maya Rudolph. I like Maya Rudolph as an actor. She was in Idiocracy, if I'm not mistaken. One of the best movies I've ever seen in my life, which is very accurate. A very accurate representation of what we have become in many parts of this country and what the future could be. But they got her drinking because they already know what time it is. Her and Doug. Doug get drunk and beat wives up. Doug could get drunk and slap you silly. A whole 360 spin you'll do when Doug get to drinking. And when Kamala drinking, it just intensifies the word salad. So they already know what it is. Let's go back to that same Zoom call kerfuffle. Now, I guess an aide is giving her questions off camera, I suppose. Now, Kamala is so silly. Kamala is so dumb. She didn't understand that although she covered her mouth to say, hey, we're live on television, that her microphone is still on. So you covered your mouth, but I can still hear you. Like, that's like trying to hide behind a tree when you're Shaq. It's like, I can still see you, Shaq. The tree is not hiding you. It's hiding about 1/8 of your big wide body. It ain't hiding the whole Mack truck behind the tree. Watch this.
Blood. We really got to watch those areas and those communities.
So she's saying live broadcast. Kamala, I can see you. I can hear you still.
Flood. We really got to watch those areas and those communities. So,
talking about and try to do it like real sneaky, like live broadcast. It's like Kamala, I can hear you still. I can hear you still. Your microphone's still on.
It takes quite a while for that water to drain.
Thank you very much.
Hey, Ken, I have a question for you. You mentioned words matter, and I know there's a lot of media following this briefing.
Flood.
She's, oh my goodness, man. I see now why they wanted to replace her earlier in the year. Remember that? They were trying to replace her. She didn't do anything wrong, really, but they just knew behind the scenes she's silly. She's silly, not a good. I don't know how that she slipped through the cracks to get this far. She shouldn't be anywhere near the federal government at all. At all. Covering the mouth and speaking right in the mic. It's like, ma'am, we can see you really doing all this jazz right here, and we can also hear you. The microphone is on. You got a lapel mic, and it's powered. Anyway, I'm getting triggered. Now, this is Kamala on Howard Stern for some reason.
Say, look.
Howard Stern. I remember those days watching Howard Stern when I was like 14. You know what I mean? Watching Pamela Anderson and whatnot on Howard Stern. He has fallen a long way from those days. But let's watch this.
I grew up in the neighborhood. Some would say you're getting punked.
Yeah.
Say, look.
Okay, hold on. Actually, what was it? The caption here says Kamala on Ukraine, Russia. Look, I grew up in a neighborhood.
Look, I grew up in the neighborhood. Some would say you're getting punked.
Yeah.
If you stand in favor of somebody who's an adversary over your friends on principles that we all agree on.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What are you doing, Kamala Harris? All right, and then here she is on Colbert.
Polling shows that a lot of people, especially independent voters, really want this to be a change election, and that they tend to break for you in terms of thinking about change. You are a member of the President administration. Under a Harris administration, what would the major changes be, and what would stay the same?
Sure. Well, I mean, I'm obviously not Joe Biden.
I noticed.
And so that would be one change in terms of. But also, I think it's important to say with, 28 days to go, I'm not Donald Trump. And so when we think about the significance of what this next generation of leadership looks like, were I to be elected president, it is about, frankly, I love the American people, and I believe in our country. I love that it is our character and nature to be an ambitious people. We have aspirations, we have dreams, we have incredible work ethic, and I just believe that we can create and build upon the success we've achieved in a way that we continue to grow opportunity, and in that way grow the strength of our nation.
Nope.
Oh my goodness. Goodness gracious. My oh my. The question, if you guys forgot, was, okay, you're running for office. What are you going to do that's different from Joe? And that is where we got that long-winded, convoluted word salad from. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious. What are you doing? Okay, hold on. I got more from Howard Stern. I got more from Howard.
When you said you don't nap, I get it, because like what you've taken on is extraordinarily difficult. And I mean, do you feel the pressure of the moment in the sense that, like, when I met you out in the hall, I said, I'm really nervous because I want this to go well for you. I want it to go well for the country. Even when I watch them on Saturday Night Live with the where they have Maya Rudolph playing you, I hate it. I don't want you being made fun of. There's too much at stake. I believe the entire future of this country right now, I mean, as America, land of the free, home of the brave, I think it's literally on the line.
I agree with you.
Man, that Trump derangement syndrome is crazy, Howard Stern. Get some help. You and Keith Olbermann need to go to a focus group together. Y'all need to go to a 12-step program together and get cured of your Trump derangement syndrome. Let's play a little bit more from Howard. I'm going to keep on moving here.
I think that, Howard, people ask me, like, what do you think is going on, and what is the tension here? What's at stake? And there are many things, and I can be much more articulate than what I'm going to say. But ultimately, I do believe that this is an election that is about strength versus weakness.
Yeah.
And weakness as projected by someone who puts himself in.
Weakness, Kamala? Is that what we want to talk about? Weakness? You couldn't even do an interview without Tampon Tim. And I'm not sure if you're alone right now. You love wearing those earrings, don't you? Every single time I see you, you got the same earrings on. Every single, your jewelry changes, your necklace, your physical clothing, your blazer, your Hillary Clinton, Mao, pantsuits, whatever you got on, it's different except for those earrings. And allegedly, there's a communication device that looks just like those. I'm not saying that's what that is, but what I am saying is you wear them all the time, and that's what they look like.
Front of the American people, and does not have the strength to stand in defense of their needs, their dreams, their desires, the work that must happen to make sure that we are a secure nation, that we are nurturing and protecting our alliances around the world, that we are supporting America's military, that we are fighting to bring the cost of living down for working families, that we are building businesses, building growth.
No. I mean, look, even if I was a leftist, I'd be like, nah, this ain't gonna work right here. This lady right here don't know nothing. She can't even really talk for real. So no, I wouldn't like that at all. All right, we got a few more clips. We got to get to them. Here's one more from Colbert. Hold on, I gotta find her drinking that beer. You know, hold on. Let me see. So, you know what? I'll tell you what. Kamala says she's a black woman. I can't tell. I don't know very many black women that's going to drink a beer on television. I don't really see a lot on drinking beer. If you're not drinking, if you're not drinking some Casamigos, you're not drinking a lemon drop, I'm not believing the black woman angle. Okay, this is some non-American stuff. A beer, how disgusting.
One of the
for a young lady. But watch this.
The old saws is they just want somebody they can have a beer with. So would you like to have a beer with me so I can tell people what that's like? Okay. This was, now we asked ahead of time because I can't just be giving a drink to the Vice President of the United States without asking. You asked for Miller High Life. You asked for Miller High Life. I'm just curious.
Okay, the last time I had beer was at a baseball game with Doug.
Okay, so cheers. There
cheers.
You go. There you go. Ooh. That tastes like the beautiful city of Milwaukee,
the
Wisconsin.
Champagne of beers.
There you go.
All right, there you have it. Okay, little Miller High Life, a little sip of that. You know she wanted to go ahead and just pound that like Stone Cold Steve Austin, like, and just pour it in the face. You already know that's what she wanted to do, but you got to be a little bit demure. And that's what they say on TikTok. You got to be demure and ladylike and all that good stuff. Shout out to the TikTokians. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. We got one more from Colbert. Then we're going to move on.
Have you no empathy, man?
Yes.
You know, for the suffering of other people. Have you no sense of purpose? Have you no empathy, man?
Yes.
You know, for the suffering of other people. Have you no sense of purpose?
Hey, you know what? What accent was that? What was that? Have you no empathy, man? If the business is true, okay, the Toronto, have you guys heard the Toronto accent? Now, you know, Kamala, she was living where? In Canada for a long time, from 12 to like 20. In Montreal, not Ontario, where Toronto was at. But listen, this accent right here, if you've never heard it, you're going to hear it right now. You're not going to forget it, and you're going to link it to what Kamala just said. All right, hold on. Let's watch. And if you know this girl, you know you already know where I'm about to go.
And what I don't like is if the business is true that you left your moms in the hood, somebody go smoke that you. You don't leave your moms nowhere. You have money and you left your moms there? Yo, you're sick to my stomach, fam. But if it's not true, Shorty's just talking shit.
That is the infamous Toronto accent. I don't know where that came from. My Toronto people, they say that's like a fake thing that Drake introduced. You got a lot of Caribbeans up there, a lot of Jamaicans and whatnot that go to Toronto because it's part of the Commonwealth of Nations, you know, part of the UK. But anyway, like Australia, all of that. So they go to Canada rather than going to New York. Probably easier to get to Canada. But anyway, a lot of them are up there with their yard talk. And then you got the Canadians with their So they just combine it for that. That is part of what Kamala just did. Oh my goodness. So yeah. Is that a real accent, Honey Bean? Is that how they sound out there in Toronto? Yeah. Remind me to never talk to any young lady in Toronto. Because I don't want to hear this accent anymore, fam. I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to hear no Canadian Mountie with a Jamaican accent. Okay, I ain't trying to see no big top hat on the horse talking about bumbleclot. I don't want to hear that at all. Alrighty? Yeah, so shout out to Drake. You have introduced a plague to your city with that ridiculous accent. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, I got some more. Oh, man. Yeah, I got some more. Corinne Jean-Pierre. Now, listen. I don't want to be superficial. I don't want to be the guy that's like making fun of somebody for what they got on. But listen, okay. First of all, these people run the country. These people are they are at the highest of the high when you're talking about power. They affect our everyday lives. Now, I don't know about you guys, but what I want to see is a serious person up there. I don't want to see Dick Tracy. I don't want to see Fred Sanford in the zoot suit. I don't want to see her pawpaw's 1935 attire. Okay. I don't want to see her Haitian daddy's church suit on stage at a press conference. I don't want to see that. I know she's an LGBT and that's fine, but you can, same thing, John Fetterman, same thing. This dude looking like a whole auto repair technician in the White House. Have some respect, sir. You got on Sunday morning grass cutting attire in the Senate. Put a suit on. Same thing with Karine Jean-Pierre. What's up with this mobster? See? What's up with that attire? I already don't take you seriously. I'm already not necessarily feeling the administration. You come out there like this. Okay, I was triggered, so I had to get it off my chest. Nah, I don't want to see that, man. That's just not really the wave. Hey, if somebody had a TikTok or something and they photoshopped a fedora or some kind of big hat on her head and gave her a Tommy gun, I was done. But watch this.
Funding. The administration has money to send to Lebanon without Congress coming back. But Congress does have to come back to approve money to send to people in North Carolina. Do I have that right?
Here's what I'm going to be very clear about. The president and the vice president has had a robust whole of government response to this. Hundreds of millions of dollars. I said it at the top, more than $200 million that we have directly put towards survivors here for disaster help. And that's because of this president's commitment to make sure that we are there for communities that are impacted. We take this very seriously again. We take this very seriously. And before the hurricane hit, we pre-positioned more than 1,500 federal folks on the ground to help.
But see, if what you're saying is true and the government is out there and they're helping, the way you communicate and your message is not very effective. I want to see video from the ground. I want to see you guys really engaging with the people. The federal government sucks so bad because they're not really worried about doing things efficiently or properly. They're worried about their jobs. They're worried about this is a career. This is a grift for them. They're trying to make money. They're not really trying to do things in an efficient manner. Okay. And when the government gets bigger and bigger and bigger, the less efficient it becomes. It becomes more about just trying to loot money from the people. That's all. That's why you got a situation where the migrants got whatever they want. Companies get whatever they want when they're able to hire the migrants. They get all kinds of benefits, tax breaks, whatever. Borders wide open. The people in power are not affected. They could do whatever. They could get themselves a raise. They can do whatever they want. They could do insider trading, break the laws. They live on different rules than we do. Migrants, different rules than we do. Corporations, different rules than we do. The people, we out here just kind of floundering at a certain point. And a lot of the reason why we're not doing better is because the government takes the money, gunpoint, and they set it on fire in front of our faces. And then when we say, hey, that's a problem, we're the problem, right? We become the people that are the issue. We become problematic. All right. And people are tired of it, which is why people are speaking out against Kamala, speaking out against everybody. Now, here we have somebody up in Western North Carolina. This is Sheriff Wright and Sheriff Ellenberg. All right. And I think they're at Chimney Rock, that community that got wiped away. Oh, and before I continue, I got to show you guys how a lot of what's happening in the mountain is different than what'll happen in Florida. Okay. Y'all know about mountain haulers. A lot of y'all may not know about these things because you might have come from a mountainous community or a mountainous area, right? So, okay, I'm going to show you a holler right quick. I'm going to try to give you a good idea of how one looks. Not that one. That's kind of like, okay, I'm going to show you two images. I'm going to show you one where it's like up close in the holler. Then I'm going to show you how it looks kind of far away. Okay, if I can find a better picture. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, so there's one. There's one good image. And then let's see another one. Okay. So they got an aerial of a holler, and then they got the ground floor. Perfect. So up in the mountains, you have basically valleys, small valleys on the side of the mountain, and it goes up. One road in. Sometimes if the holler's wide enough, it'll have houses on both sides. Sometimes it's just one side. Now there's a holler right there. Okay. And you got a creek right there, right along the road. So what can happen in a place like Asheville is that this valley, narrow, high sides, creek right there on the side, in the back, that whole holler can flood, and everybody in there can be done. And these hollers are often in isolated areas, so people that's out there pretty much fend for themselves. Okay, there's another one. That's kind of how it looks up close, and you see how the mountains are like right behind you, literally right to the sides. You're basically in the valley that can fill up instantly when you got a flood. Luckily, we don't really get hurricanes in the mountains, but unfortunately it did hit North Carolina, and that's a big part of why a Castle Rock got wiped away. It's not a holler in Castle Rock, but it's similar. It's the same kind of thing. It's like you got an area, it's like it could be a valley, and you got high sides with the high elevation, water comes straight down in there. Now you got a raging river, and anything that's in the path gets wiped away. Somebody says, what's a holler? Holler, a hollow. That's what it's supposed to be, a hollow in the mountain, a valley or a crack in the mountain. So you're driving along a regular road in the mountain. It'd be a hill on the side, mountain on the side, and then it'd be a road you can take, and you'll go up the hill and to like a dead end usually, but along the road, it'd be houses. It's a community right there. A lot of times they're isolated. It's called a holler. All right. So that is what's going on with North Carolina. Let me go back to North Carolina and get word from those on the ground, because that's what matters. The government can say whatever they want, but what do the people say?
I was going to say something about Biden and Harris.
Yes, what were you going to say? Oh.
But I don't like to curse. I'm scared there'll be little ears listening.
Well, and you've been up here. You've been up here for how long?
Just 2 days.
2 days?
Sheriff hadn't left, and he's doing a fantastic job. So
that's right. I mean, Sheriff, you have been amazing. Thank you so much for all you do. I'm going to definitely get this up on social media, and we're going live tonight with Sean Hannity. But if you had a message for the White House and how they've handled the situation up here in North Carolina, what would your message be, Sheriff Wright?
if you're going to do the things you've been talking about doing, we just assume you stay out of the way and let the good men and women around the mountain area and the foothills take care of our own, because you're nothing more than a boat anchor.
No help? FEMA hasn't been helpful?
Wait a minute. That lady that's running for president talks about the $750. Well, but all that money you give to Ukraine and all these other people that really want to kill us, don't want to do anything to help us, why don't you just give that money to them? That's who you want to give it to begin with.
And a lot of people have been turned down for the $750. Almost everybody I've spoken to hasn't received any of the funding, and they've been turned down for personal items.
Well, they talked about get on your phone or your computer. Do you not see what the devastation is? They don't have a phone or a computer.
There's nothing up here. There's no communication. I'm going to be posting this later. There's no way to access the internet unless you have a Starlink net. And everybody's...
Thank you, Elon Musk, by the way.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Elon Musk.
President Donald Trump, we need you.
What are the... Yes, that's a message for you, President Trump. And I was going to ask you, what are the most affected areas that you've seen? Is this pretty much ground zero from what you've seen, or can you...
Well, I think that'd be better for the sheriff here to answer for sure, because he knows.
There's more to the video, but I ain't gonna play the whole thing. You see what's going on here. Now, what I wanted to show about this was how the terrain is. See, you got mountains on the side, mountains on the back. This is Castle Rock, where the water just came down from the side, channelized in this area like a valley, a narrow valley, and wiped everything away. That's how the floods are affecting Appalachia, because they're not used to that level of rain at once. It's just too much for that kind of area to contain because of the way that the surrounding geography is. It's just, you're going to create rivers immediately. That area, Asheville, could have been, a long time ago, it could have been a river. Okay, and over a course of a long time, it just changes as everything does. But when that rain came, it became a river again, unfortunately, in the low-lying areas.
Sheriff Wright.
Hold on. Matter of fact, and I wanted to play something about the looters, because that was a question. Let me go back right here.
If you're living out in the area and you have special skills and you can help.
Let me tag onto that.
Okay.
Don't just show up saying I want to help. You get in touch with somebody and get some. They'll give you a code. They'll give you a person to be in contact with, because we know you want to help. But we have to vet you, because there's stuff laying around here that people's worked all their life for. I can't just let a stranger, we can't let a stranger come in here and just walk up and down the street.
They don't want looters. They don't want looters.
We're not going to have looters. If you come over here and loot, just like in Spartanburg, you're not going to like us at all.
Don't come here and loot.
Rutherford County.
Don't come to Rutherford County if you're going to loot.
Don't bypass Rutherford and go to Spartanburg or Greenville County either, because we don't tolerate you either.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Appalachian people, like I said before, the nicest guys in the world. They will give you anything. If they got it, you got it. They don't care. They look out for you. It is what it is in Appalachia. But when you come in there and act crazy, I mean, you can get deleted and anybody gonna say nothing. Anybody gonna say nothing, man. Like, nobody really, it's not even really a big deal that you got deleted. Ain't gonna be no civil rights people out there for you. No. Like in Huntington, one year, West Virginia, there was a bunch of these Detroit guys, which is what happens. A lot of the Detroit guys come down and sell their drugs in these small towns that's not far from them. So they drive down, and then they bring that Detroit behavior with them. One year, I think there was 3 homicides in Huntington, small place, right? Like 30,000 people, whatever it is. 3 homicides. It was all Detroit guys, and nobody cared. Nobody cared. All right, you want to come acting crazy, we'll delete you, and then that'll be it, and everybody keep on moving. Because everybody, there's never a reason to come act crazy. Everybody got your back. Everybody look out for you. So why are you acting crazy? You're going to get smoked, and nobody will come to your defense because you did wrong, and everybody knows it. All right? But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. I got so much Kamala stuff. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. Okay. Where do I want to get to? There's a lot I want to show. Hold on. 60 minutes. Let's just show 60 minutes, because that'll probably be the best way. All right, here we go. And we got to show Tampon Tim and everybody that was on the show with her. And shout out to Bill Whitaker for trying to be a little bit challenging, trying not to give her a complete softball. I mean, he didn't just hold the ball out in front of her or put it on the tee and just let her swing. It was a little bit of a little bit more effort in this interview than the other ones. Although they still did the editing job and straight up changed answers. So although Bill Whitaker, can't be trying to challenge her, it doesn't matter if the editing team and the higher-ups go above his head and just change answers like that. I wonder how Bill Whitaker feels about that happening. I wonder how this respected man who's been in journalism for his whole life, I wonder how he feels about that interview being butchered that way. Is he on Team Kamala? Even if he is on Team Kamala, let's just say in some alternate universe, I was on Team Kamala and I was a journalist. I would not want my interview to be edited that way still. Whatever the answer was, let's let it be that, rather than trying to make her look good and using me to do that. But I digress. I'm getting triggered.
Quarter of registered voters still say they don't know you. They don't know what makes you tick. And why do you think that is? What's the disconnect?
It's an election, Bill. And I take it seriously that I have to earn everyone's vote. This is an election for President of the United States. No one should be able to take for granted that they can just declare themselves a candidate and automatically receive support. You have to earn it. And that's what I intend to do.
A quarter.
Okie dokie, we got more.
Groceries are 25% higher. And people are blaming you and Joe Biden for that. Are they wrong?
We now have historic low unemployment in America among all groups of people. We now have an economy that is thriving by all macroeconomic measures. And, to your point, prices are still too high. And I know that, and we need to deal with it, which is why part of my plan, you mentioned groceries. Part of my plan is what we must do to bring down the price of groceries.
Groceries are 20.
Now, I got a question. Why is the background blurred like that? What's up with the lens effects here? Like, what is the reason for that? Is that normal what they do in interviews? I mean, I don't know. I'm not really feeling it. So here we have Liz Cheney and Kamala. Now, this is Bill Whitaker, the journalist. Do you see a problem here? Can I say it without being sexist? You got these 2 5'2" women looking up to this guy, the journalist. He looks like the actual presidential candidate here because of the stature difference. Some, again, and I always say it, some may get offended when I say this, but these things matter. Your look, how you present yourself, your physical stature matters. So you're out here with Liz Cheney. Is that going to help you? Really? Who has ever looked at Liz Cheney as a Republican leader? We don't like Dick Cheney. We didn't like Dick Cheney when he was vice president. We didn't like Dick Cheney when he shot that man in his head and made him go on TV and apologize. We've never liked Dick Cheney. So why all of a sudden now with Liz trying to make a difference? We don't care about her or her daddy. Same thing with McCain's. Okay, your daddy, he dead. Okay, R.I.P. So why should I care about Meghan McCain? For what? Why? Anyway, I digress.
4 years ago, if someone had told you that you would be campaigning with Liz Cheney, what would you have said to them?
That'd be great. That's really diplomatic.
4 years.
That's going to be a problem, man. Like, when you're talking about world leaders and stuff, that's going to be an issue. It is. People can say that I'm lying, but I'm not. I am 6'3". I'm probably about Bill Whitaker's height or a little bit taller, maybe right around that same size. I'm a tall person. I always stand out. I've been tall since I've been a little boy. So I was 6 foot tall at age 14. I was 6 foot tall and 240 pounds at 14 years old. So I was always tall and big and stuff like this. But that doesn't even really matter. My height don't matter. I'm not running for president. I'm just a guy in the house talking on the internet. So my height don't matter. Her height and the way she looks and the way she speaks, it all goes together. Look, the way you speak, your facial expressions, your clothing, what you wear, your body size, your weight. Are we in shape, out of shape, overweight, underweight? All that stuff matters when you're talking about trying to become the president. You will be judged on those things. If it's shallow or whatever, it don't matter. You will be judged on those things. All right, let's keep on going here. And when you make faces like this is something else. Look at these faces. Look at your resting face. I mean, what is this face? Kamala, you're trying to be the president. You're looking like, it's like, stop. If your mom was my mom, you would get slapped upside your head. Stop making that face.
You want to,
and it would have been corrected when you were a child.
Expand the child tax credit.
Yes, I do.
You want to give tax breaks to first-time home buyers.
Yes.
And people starting small businesses.
Correct.
But it is estimated by the Nonpartisan Committee for Responsible Federal Budget that your economic plan would add $3 trillion to the federal deficit over the next decade. How are you going to pay for that?
Okay, so the other economists that have reviewed my plan versus my opponent and determined that my economic plan would strengthen America's economy, his would weaken it.
But
my plan, Bill, if you don't mind, my plan is about saying that when you invest in small businesses, you invest in the middle class, and you strengthen America's economy. Small businesses are part of the backbone of America's economy.
You want to
Okie dokie. So, and you know what? Going back to the whole height thing, this is why Michelle Obama, I'm telling y'all, Michelle Obama would have been a better choice, but she don't want to do it because she's above politics. They've been begging Michelle Obama to run. She would do much better than Kamala. I'm not a Michelle Obama fan. Don't get it twisted. I'm not going to go out there. If Michelle Obama was on the ballot, I would never in my life vote for a Michelle Obama ever. But I can be realistic and look at her and see that she's better than Kamala. First of all, the whole height thing, Michelle Obama's like Barack Obama's height. She's almost a good 6 foot tall. Same thing with Melania Trump, tall as well, which is why Barron looking like he's about to go play European basketball for a living. You understand what I'm saying? Big 6'8", looking like Luka Doncic or somebody. Okay, his Slovenian countryman. But anyway, that matters. The ability to speak, the ability to not have a crazy face. Michelle got that kind of bulldaggery type of masculine face. But I'd rather that than these expressions that Kamala is making. High eyebrows, just being silly. I'd rather you look like you like to drive railroad tracks in the ground for a living as a woman in the face than to be goofy all the time. I would prefer that. Especially in the leader. Give me the kind of, serious face. Give me that all day long. I like that. I like the serious face. The resting beef face. Give me that all day long rather than the funny face. All right, there's more I have. Okay, now flip-flopping.
Let me tell you what your critics and the columnists say.
Okay.
They say that the reason so many voters don't know you is that you have changed your position on so many things. You were against fracking, now you're for it. You supported looser immigration policies, now you're tightening them up. You were for Medicare for all, now you're not. So many that people don't truly know what you believe or what you stand for. And I know you've heard that.
In the last 4 years, I have been Vice President of the United States. And I have been traveling our country. And I have been listening to folks and seeking what is possible in terms of common ground. I believe in building consensus. We are a diverse people, geographically, regionally, in terms of where we are in our backgrounds.
The question was, why have you flip-flopped? These answers aren't doing any good. And again, the earrings. Are we going to find out one day that these are the transmitter earrings that we've been talking about? Are we going to find that out one day, or are we just going to kind of let it go? Because there's something going on with it. I don't know what it is. It's just a hunch. Call it a feeling. It's called having a hunch. It's called your gut intuition, your instincts. Something's going on there. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Alrighty. Oh, the whole Glock thing. I gotta play this. Hold on. Before I play the question about her gun, what kind of gun does she have? Let me play Tampon Tim because he was there as well. For some reason, I don't know why he was there, but he was. Let's go ahead and play Tampon Tim at the 60 Minutes interview. Well, I know why he was there, to fill up time because she can't really talk. Let's watch this.
They go beyond weird because I said this, it becomes almost dangerous. Let's debate policy in a real way and let's try and find an objective truth again.
Okay, that's Tampon Tim. Then there's one more.
Walsh has been criticized for embellishing or telling outright falsehoods about his military record and about his travels to Asia in the 1980s. In your debate with J.D. Vance, you said, I'm a knucklehead at times. And I think you were referring to the time that you said that you were in Hong Kong during the Tiananmen Square unrest when you were not.
Yeah.
Is that kind of misrepresentation, isn't that more than just being a knucklehead?
I think folks know who I am, and I think they know the difference between someone expressing emotion, telling a story, getting a date wrong rather than a pathological liar like Donald Trump.
But I think it comes down to the question of whether you can be trusted to tell the truth.
Yeah, well.
getting the date wrong. Hey, you know what? I was in New York in September 2021. And, you know, I was there right around the time the whole thing happened. You know what I mean? I remember 9/11. It was crazy. And then they asked me again, hey, were you actually in New York on 9/11? Nah, I was not there on 9/11, but I was there right around that time. I mean, why are you tripping? I mean, I got the date wrong. I was there September the 2nd, not the 11th, but I got a date wrong. Why are you tripping? That is what he's saying right here. CNN miscrapping on a specific date. It was a specific time where that happened. You were not there anywhere near the time where that happened. It was an actual demonstration. People got deleted. You were not there during that time. You weren't there. You just lied. That's all. A date wrong.
I can. I think I can. I will own up to being a knucklehead at times, but the folks closest to me know that I keep my word.
I don't want knuckleheads, though. You know what? I don't want a knucklehead in the White House. Maybe you could just be the football coach, being knucklehead, sitcom dad or something like this. But you're talking about being a leader. I don't want a knucklehead. I want a guy that got his head on his shoulders and who has the right ideas for the country going forward. That's what I want. Not a knucklehead, sir. All right. Now, this is a clip from 2015. You have Kamala speaking about the last time she shot her weapon. Now, again, 2015, be ready for some cringe. Be ready for cringe as usual. 2015, let's watch. Then we're going to see her updated, I suppose, answer on the whole gun question. Check it out.
Well, real quick, have you shot a gun?
Yes, I have.
Well, tell us about the last time.
No.
No, but do you like hunt or like what do you do?
I'm a good marksman. Yes, I have shot a gun many times.
You're a good marks person with a pistol or a rifle?
A pistol. And I'm not, that's it. I'm not going any further with this.
Are you concealed weapon permit? Or?
I'm not going any further with this.
You know what?
And why was it such a hard thing to talk about? You have a gun, you're a gun owner, and you shoot it. So why you don't want to talk about it? And the giggling and laughing. Yikes. That was, again, 2015. So here we go. 2024, 60 Minutes interview. What kind of gun do you have? Have you fired it? All this, that, and the third. Check it out.
You recently surprised people when you said that you are a gun owner. And then if someone came into your
That
house...
was not the first time I've
they would get
talked
shot.
about it. That's not the first time I've talked about it.
So what kind of gun do you own, and when and why did you get it?
I have a Glock, and I've had it for quite some time. And I mean, look, Bill, my background is in law enforcement. And so there you go.
Have you ever fired it?
Yes. Of course I have. At a shooting range. Yes, of course I have.
You recently surprised...
Okie dokie. So what do y'all think? You believe that she owns a Glock pistol? Is that what it is? And I'm not necessarily a gun expert, okay? Because all the guns I had, they're at the bottom of the Tennessee River. I don't know nothing about them. They're all gone. If you go swimming, you go on a kayak, you just fall off the boat, you might grab you a nice little prize in the water. You understand? But what I do know is that a Glock is a semi-automatic pistol, right? So when you're trying to talk about banning weapons and things of this nature, wouldn't a Glock be under that? I was asking a question on social media. You know, it was a thing that was posted. Oh, she has a gun. My question was, okay, doesn't she want to ban the same kind of gun that she has, semi-automatic? And they say, no, she wants to ban weapons of war and fully automatics. Can you go to Bob's gun store right now and just buy a fully automatic weapon? I think not. It's possible to get a fully automatic weapon, but you're going to pay a lot of money and talk to the federales. You got to get a whole FFL, I believe, right? You got to get a stamp. You got to get all kinds of stuff. You can't just go to Academy Sports and get a machine gun. If you have the switch device on the back of your Glock, that's you going to the penitentiary. Big rocks to little rocks all day long. Okay. Do you know in Virginia, an illegal gun possession, automatic 5-year minimum, mandatory minimum, just for the gun and the switch. On top of that, if you got an illegal weapon, like what Puff did with the number scratched off the rip, 5-year mandatory minimum. The number scratched off, that's more time. The switch, that's more time. So my question is, what kind of guns are we banning, Kamala Harris? Rifles? What is an assault rifle? How is an assault rifle different from a regular rifle? Tell me. Are we going to ban AR-15s? Why? Because they're assault rifles. What the AR stand for? Assault rifle? No. Armalite is a brand name. What makes an AR-15 different than a rifle that's not an AR-15? It's chambered the same with the same ammunition. It fires the same way. You shoot it one time, one bullet come out. It's the same functionality as a Glock pistol, just with different ammunition, different size, different form factor. That's the only difference. So this is what I'm talking about. They say they want to do certain things that don't make any sense. It don't make any sense. Yeah, I'm gonna go to Walmart, Honey Bean. I'm gonna go to Walmart and get me a fully automatic assault rifle. I'm gonna get me some Vietnam era. I'm gonna get one of those. You would hit everything but the brats out of the barn with those. I'm gonna get one of those and just have that in my house. People that talk about banning guns have no idea what they're talking about. They just say things that they think sound good. Oh, we gotta solve what problem we gotta solve. It's about we gotta solve a problem. What are we solving? We talking about inner city violence, which is overwhelmingly handguns like the Glock. Overwhelmingly that. If you wanted to ban weapons and you wanted to start somewhere, it'd be the Glock. I'm not saying you should, but logically, if we're going to do a thing like that, let's go to the thing that has the most violent things, the most deaths, the most shootings behind it. That'd be your handgun. It's the most commonly owned weapon. But why would you ban that when handguns also save lives? Every single day they save lives. So why would you do that? People that say things like that don't have any idea about the world in which we live. Same thing going on right now with the hurricane. Listen, we've been trying to tell people for months and years now, that the Democrats don't care about you. They don't have your best interests at heart. Recently, been the whole migrant thing. They're getting 5, 10, 15, 20,000 U.S. American cold hard cash dollars on a debit card. It might be on the app. They could just go scan their phone and they got 10 bands. They could buy whatever they want. They're buying up real estate now. That's going to be a booming industry. Real estate for the migrants, houses for these people. They're buying houses. They're starting businesses. They're doing all that off the taxpayer dime, off your money, off my money. Okay. We've been telling y'all this for a long time now, that the government is prioritizing them over you. And now we see it in real time. North Carolina, hey man, I lost everything. Can I get $700? Nope. Migrant be right next to you in the store with a debit card that he can buy anything he would desires from it, and it comes from your money. It's crazy. But I'm getting triggered, so I digress. Speaking about real estate, we got some housing for you. Hey, American citizen, you don't get government help, the government benefits. So you live in New York City. If you're a migrant, you get to be in the Roosevelt Hotel right there where everything is happening. You're going to tear it down in a year because of your living habits, but you still get to stay right there absolutely free. You, American, want to live in New York City. If you pay about $2,000, $3,000, $2,500 a month, this is what you get. Check it out. I'm gonna turn that down. I'm gonna need the music, but you see what you got here. This is $2,500 a month in New York City. You're a migrant, stay in the Roosevelt Hotel. It's all good. Regular citizen, hey man, you got $2,500. You get to stay in a closet with a bathroom in it. Okay, that's New York City. People are gonna say, oh, that's New York ABL. Well, Los Angeles, everywhere across the whole country is crazy. Atlanta, Chicago, Las Vegas, wherever you're going to go is crazy. Now, here's another one in New York, I believe. Let's get some sound.
How much do you pay for rent in New York?
$650.
$650?
Yeah.
Okay, crazy question. Could I have a tour of your apartment?
Maybe another day, but actually, yeah. Yo, what up?
What's up?
Tiny. What up? Welcome to the crib.
Wait, how tall are you?
5'4", 5'5" on a good day.
5'5" on a good day. 5'5" on a good day, and you don't fit. Yeah, this is really tiny. It's so tiny my phone can't even film it. $650 for this?
$650.
Okay.
Came with the TV.
It came with the TV.
Yeah. Okay, right here we have the living room. It pulls out into a couch. Basically, I'll have friends stay with me, and it's an adventure. It's so much fun every time. Art, sign, came from California, so we gotta rep the palm trees.
Wait, where's
Living room.
the bed?
The bed's upstairs.
Oh, upstairs. Oh, stairs. Oh my goodness.
Do you wanna go up there?
You go up there.
It's crazy. It's a.
So you kind of see what's going on. You got the little the tiny apartment. I've seen tiny houses. This is a tiny apartment. All right, can we go see the upstairs part? I'm gonna just show this right quick. Did I keep on rocking?
Loft. So that's what I like most about the layout.
Yeah, no windows, of course, because this might be somebody's closet that they transformed into an apartment.
Wild, right?
Whoa.
Wow,
Whoa.
look at that.
Wow.
I know, right?
So small.
Thank God for the railing. But yeah, it is tiny.
You are close to the ceiling there, my lady.
It's insanely close. Literally, when I'm in bed at night, sometimes I hit my head. No boys allowed.
No boys allowed.
They won't fit.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. I couldn't do it. I'll be claustrophobic. Yeah, that's not gonna make it happen. If she's 5'4" little lady up in there, I'd be looking like, just scrunched up, like a biscuit can busted. It'd be a whole mess up there. That really. I guess the whole point of having the upstairs place is to have something separate where you can sleep at. And they probably just put they probably put a beam across. They probably put a beam across for the support of, like, it wasn't like that before. They just made that like that for that purpose. Because it probably was a closet or something before, and then they just transformed it into this. And I don't see a bathroom in here at all. It's probably a communal bathroom they got in the building. So yeah, you get to live like that, Americans. Migrants, hey man, do whatever you want and it's totally fine. Yeah, and I think codes, it's if you have no windows, you violating the code. I'm not sure how New York is, but here, Tennessee, you got to have windows in the room. You can't just have no windows in your spot. Yeah, that's not safe at all. If it's a fire, you are doomed, big doomed. If the doorway is blocked, you have no windows, hey man, kiss this world goodbye. But if you like what you are hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, do I have more? I got some more. I got a little bit more than me going to get to the calls. Here is Trump on the Brilliant Idiots podcast. I think it's Brilliant Idiots. It should be. I know that's Andrew Schultz, but I don't see Charlemagne.
Good with names,
You are. You're very good.
You are. Pocahontas.
Yeah.
We have names.
What about, and there was, Tampon Tim was good. What about,
The problem with Tampon Tim, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
In other words,
it's a mouthful.
It's a lot. Tampon. And you can't stutter it through when you follow. It's really a lousy word to say.
Yeah.
But it's quite accurate, right? there are some, like Comrade Kamala. It's a little hard to say. She's comrade because she's obviously a communist.
Yeah.
She's horrible. So I call her comrade.
Yeah.
And it's not bad. But when you put the names together, it's a little, you got to be able to pume. You got to be able to.
You got to be able to pume. That's what I'm talking about. Like that, like saying stuff like that, that's how you connect with the people because you're in tune with what's going on. The politicos that stay in D.C., they don't know nothing. All they know about is Adams Morgan or whatever kind of, they know about that. They don't know nothing about what we, the people, are actually talking about and what we're doing and what we're saying. And it helps that he has a young son who's into all of the Gen Z stuff. Barron, the young boy, 18 now, it helps him to stay in tune with the youth. All right. And this is the Flagrant podcast with Schultz and Andrew Singh. It's not the Brilliant Idiots. That's another podcast he has with Charlemagne, I think, still.
Put it out there. But we have a lot of good ones. A lot of them I can't go into with you because some of my best ones are from the Republican primaries.
Oh, yeah.
And they're all friends of mine now.
Yeah, Little Marco, Lion Ted. Those days are crazy. The 2016 primary, oh my goodness. That changed everything. That was crazy. So it was Little Marco, Lion Ted. What were some of the other ones? Did he have a nickname for Chris Christie? I call Chris Christie Chris Kringle, Krispy Kreme, Chris Kringle. Okay, Saint Chris rather than Saint Nick. All right, that's what I'll call Chris Christie. But beyond that, I'm not really sure about the other nicknames that they had. But the 2016 primary was crazy. It was really wild. So shout out to Trump. Shout out to him. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Also, here is the crowd size at the Butler rally for Trump. 100,000 deep. 100,000 deep. Hey, Kamala could never. Joe Biden could never. Tampon Tim could never. Yeah, so shout out to the crowd size. They can't do nothing with this. It's a real thing. And I'm reading some of the comments. Pocahontas was a good one. Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas. And Horrid Corridor. Yeah, low energy Jeb. Jeff, it was supposed to be Jeb. Can you imagine Jeb Bush? Jeb was so goofy. Oh my goodness. He was goofy. Listen, W and HW, they're not my favorites, but they weren't so goofy the way that Jeb is. Jeb, my mom could run. It's like, why ain't she running? That was crazy to see the contrast between the Jeb and the Trump. It was nowhere near the same. It was nowhere near the same. Okay. He was just he didn't have that kind of confidence you need to be a leader. You could be a governor or mayor or something like this, okay. But you want to be the president and you goofy like that? Tampon Tim, Kamala, Jeb, all of them in the same kind of category, in my opinion. my name is Jeb. Yeah, my name is Jeb. That's him. He might as well have said that out there on the campaign trail. And who else was like that? Jeb, Tim Walz, Kamala, Cory Booker, another one. They were trying very hard in 2020. Well, before 2020, obviously 2019, they were trying very hard to promote Kamala and Cory Booker. They will always show them in the Senate doing something really benign, some kind of just random bill they vote on. They will always show them specifically because they were trying to promote them. And whichever one got across and made the most sense to the American people would be maybe who has a chance to become the nominee, and they put all their effort behind them. But Kamala is a goofball who's done nothing and can barely talk. But they got her now as a vice president, so they stuck with her. But she didn't work as a president back then because of what I just said. Cory Booker, same thing. Goofy, unmarried, no kids. That's going to be a red flag for a lot of the American people. Then they tried to put him with Rosario Dawson. Nobody believed that. You're going to put this guy, this goofy dude, with a movie star, Rosario Dawson, for real? Come on, man. That don't even make no sense. That's an odd couple if I've ever seen one. How'd that go together? Like, Cory Booker should be with just a regular person, not with movie star. Come on, man. Like, who believed that? Anyway, shout out to Cory Booker. Shout out to all the goofballs trying to be politicians. You could be a political and local level, sure, but when it comes to the big leagues, it ain't gonna work. It is not going to work. All right. Oh, I'm gonna show Bill Nye, the chemical engineer guy. Then we're gonna keep on moving. Yeah, Cory Booker was making a lot of noise back then because they thought he might be able to get the nomination in 2020. They thought that, but obviously it didn't work. So he's been quiet since then. It's just like how you may hear from somebody like a Jamie Raskin. Remember Jamie Raskin? Jamie Raskin with his cancer scarf, you saw him every other day. But when he went into remission and he revealed this luxurious new head of hair, all of a sudden you didn't hear from him no more. Funny how that works. When his hair transplant was complete, then he went away from the public eye. It was so weird. But here we go. Bill Nye, the mechanical engineer guy, talking about, hey, if you are concerned about the hurricanes, their intensity, their frequency, vote Kamala Harris because she's going to fix the weather.
The other side, as we often call it, has no plans to address climate change, no plans for long-term dealing with these sorts of problems. If you have young voters out there, encourage them to vote. People say, what can I do about climate change? If we were talking about it, associating it with big storms like this, that would be really good. But the main thing is vote. Thank you.
And Bill, very quickly, how much of an impact do you see climate change playing in all of these explanations that you've given us? How much do you see climate change as being a part of that?
Oh, it's no question, everybody. Look, in climate science, everybody has been studying this for years. Everybody has been commenting, scientific papers have been written about how warm the ocean is around the Florida Peninsula. And it's this warm water that is driving these storms and enabling it to intensify so quickly. Everybody, be careful out there. Let's get through this.
Bill Nye.
So Bill Nye, the science guy, so-called science guy, talking about, hey, you know what? If you are concerned about the weather, and that's an issue, you got to go out there and vote Kamala Harris because she's going to improve the weather. Man, hurricanes have always been a fact of life for the East Coast. Since I've been a little kid, I've always been watching from July to Halloween, June to Halloween, right around that time, we watch to make sure that the hurricanes ain't coming, if it's going to be Cat 1, Cat 2, Cat 5, whatever. We always watch that. This ain't nothing new. Just like Kamala called DeSantis during, because of Hurricane Helene that hit, and he didn't answer, and she got mad about it. It's like, well, okay, you calling me now for this, but why you calling me no other time? We've had other hurricanes that have hit Florida in the past 3.5 years, Kamala Harris. This ain't the first one. So why have you not called any other time? It's because now you're running a campaign and they're telling you to do certain things because it'll help you, not because you genuinely want to do it. Okay? But you'll call certain people, you'll call celebrities and whatnot when something happened, but any other thing, you're not really worried about it. And Joe Biden told the press that he got along with DeSantis just fine. Hold on, let me see if I can find that right quick. He got along with DeSantis just fine, and it wasn't really a thing. It was okay. It was totally fine. All right. But I'm not really. Somebody said the engineered weather. Do you believe in that? No. Because hurricanes always happen. It's not anything new. I remember Hurricane Andrew, 1992. Hurricane Andrew was crazy. A lot of y'all are young too, so you may not have been around for Hurricane Andrew, or you may not really be watching hurricanes like we have. Katrina, obviously, that was a big one. People that changed the whole demographics of the city. Dallas got changed because of Katrina. We were getting Katrina survivors in Virginia. Okay, we were getting them all over the country. Like, that was crazy. So we've not seen a Superdome situation again since Katrina. And if you don't remember the Superdome situation, go back and look during Hurricane Katrina, what the evacuation after the fact, it was a mess. It was a mess. So to act like this is the first time it happened is crazy. It always happens. Cloud seeding been around, but hurricanes been around too. Just because it's a hurricane don't mean that it was geoengineered. Because it's always hurricanes. It ain't nothing new. It ain't nothing new at all. All right. So here is Biden talking about the whole situation with Kamala and the hurricane response. Well, not Kamala specifically, but with the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis.
The governor of Florida has been cooperative. He said he's gotten all that he needs. I talked to him again yesterday, and I said, I said, no, you're doing a great job. It's all being done well. We thank you for it. And I literally gave my personal phone number to call. So I don't know. There was a rough start in some places, but every governor from Florida to North Carolina has been fully cooperative and supportive and acknowledged what this team is doing. And they're doing an incredible job. But we got a lot more to do.
So he says, look, every governor is doing a great job. Never had a problem. Everything's all good. So he has no issue with Ron DeSantis, but Kamala does. So Kamala is out here kind of on her own with this whole beef with DeSantis. So they don't like her. They don't like her in D.C. They don't like her on Capitol Hill, but it's their fault, though. Like, I don't feel sympathy for them because they're the one that picked her. We could have told her back then that it wasn't going to be, we could have told them back then that she was not going to be a good pick. She was not going to be a good successor. The same way we said that he was not going to be a good president, and we were right in both cases. We were right that he was not a good president and right about her not being a good successor. But hey, it is what it is. Yo, Joe Biden, his eyes are pretty much shut. Like, he's like this at the podium, eyes wide shut, straight up shut. But he's 1,000 years old. I mean, and they put him, you know what? Here's my theory before we get to the videos and the calls. I mean, the calls, not the videos. Here's my theory. I think that they used that fake White House because of the lighting to make him not look like he's dead, because he looks really bad. Hold on, I'm gonna show you this video that I saw, and the reason why I'm gonna show you this one is because this is what I remember. This is a video that I can reference quickly in which he looked really crazy without all the lighting and makeup really on him. Okay. So look at this. Hold on, let me see if I can.
We went to South Carolina and sat down with former VP and 2020 president candidate Joe Biden. He stepped into the shade room, so you know we had to ask some real questions.
Look at this. Look how he looks right here.
Something that became a very...
Look at his face. This might have been a couple years ago. Matter of fact, this is 2020, I think. Look at this. Look at this. Come on, man. Come on.
Big topic of discussion last year in 2019. It was 400 years since slavery had started in the U.S.
Look at this. This is 2020. We were saying this back then. We're like, yo, come on, man. Look at this guy. Look at this guy, man. I mean, seriously. You're looking like Jimmy Carter right now. Mouth wide open on the beach. You don't know what's going on. That's how you look right now. It's like, you know what? Can we give this man a little bit of dignity? Let him just live his last years in peace rather than making him be the president. He looks like, man, I'd rather be anywhere else other than here right now. Anywhere else other than here right now. But hey, I don't feel bad. I don't feel sympathy. You signed up for it. You signed up for it. So it is what it is. It is what it is. And again, this was in 2020, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Yeah, this was March 3rd, 2020. And he's gotten worse since then. So we were saying that back then he looked like he was old and had 2 feet in the ground then. So that's their fault. I don't feel no kind of way bad about it. It is what it is. It is what it is. And the Jimmy Carter comment, they had that man out there looking like that, and they shouldn't have. He should have just been somewhere else, living his life, rather than being propped up, all that jazz. It's too much. It's way too much. Hold on. I'm going to show that right quick, then I'm going to move on. I ain't trying to make fun. Really, the main thing is they shouldn't have had him out there like that. They always do elder abuse. Look at this. Why is he even out there? For what? He don't know what's going on. He's pretty much deceased. Leave him be. That's pretty much how Joe Biden is looking. 4 more years, that'll be him. If they want to keep parading them out there like that, how about not do that? How about when somebody's elderly like that, let them just be at the house and relax? Let them be at the house and relax rather than doing stuff like that, parading them out there, parading the dead man out there. Anyway, I'm getting triggered. If you like what you're hearing, you know what to do. We got super chats on deck. Then I'm going to get to the calls. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Thank you to Caius Posthumous, who says, Congress passes emergency funding for 3 straight years to Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan, like totally last minute at 2 a.m. But it can't help Americans? Angry face? Exactly my point. Thank you to Apu Bakar Alpuff Daddy, who says, let's pray for Florida. May angels deflect the storm. Thank you to Doe Eyes TV, who says, blessings to all. Thank you to Apu again, who says, your reaction to Kamala 60 Minutes interview. Well, you saw that. It was a dumpster fire, of course. Apu also says, FEMA's disaster relief has been in disgrace in North Carolina. Apu says, President Trump's tribute to Cory Kapoor is awesome. Also, he says, ABL favorite vegetables. Also, how do I cook them? So, vegetables, like a green vegetable. Bok choy, I like bok choy. Maybe bok choy, broccoli, spinach. Those are my favorite, like, green vegetables. Steam them. I always steam my vegetables. Always. I got a steamer. Throw it on the steamer, and it's good to go. Definitely with broccoli, especially. Put a little bit of pepper on it. Ground black pepper. A little bit of that. Steam it, and you good money. All right. And then I also like other stuff like starchy carrots and everything. I'm a whole food kind of eater, really. I'm a whole food person. So that's kind of just what I do. Today I had some chicken thighs in the toaster air fryer, rice, and avocado toast. Fresh avocado cut up with some tomatoes, fresh bread straight from the bakery. You good money. You good. All right. Shout out to John Medeski, who says, do you believe Ivan is a black man, as he claims several times? I don't know. I don't care nothing about that. He could be. But obviously, he don't speak any English all the way. So he's not like us. You know, he could be black, but what that mean? You just have a different color. But that's nothing to point to your cultural origin. You know, he's not a Native American. And it's fine if you're not a Native American, but it's a distinction. Thank you to Apu again, who says, ABL pet peeves when you go to work out at the gym. I don't go to the gym. It's too gay. I'm good. Shout out to all the gay dudes, but I'm good, man. I ain't trying to have nobody be looking at me crazy. I'm not trying to have no man look at me crazy, and I'm not trying to have no woman act like I'm trying to harass her when I'm minding my business. I never did like gyms. I was never a gym guy. I've always had weights in my room since I've been in high school. So what I have right now is a section of my house that's a gym. I got a bedroom where I got the power tower. I got a bike. I got a flat bench that can incline, decline. I got barbells with a selector. But a lot of my workout is calisthenics and just being outside. That's my workout. And also 80%, 90% of your physical fitness is your diet. I have the diet of a monk. I am 100%. Like, I'm the kind of guy, I could eat chicken with no seasoning at all. Just straight up throw it in the oven and eat it. That's me. Thank you to A.R. Smitty, who says, dang, I thought Keith was a real one. How disappointing. Keith Olbermann. Yeah, he's not a real one no more. He was back in the day, but not no more. Thank you to Laura Catherine, who says, does anyone else think maybe Kamala is sabotaging herself on purpose because she knows she's losing and she's in over her head if she does win? I don't think she's that smart to be so conniving. Thank you to Lynn, who says, I was polled yesterday, guys. Torch, Biden, Harris, Walt, shout out to you. Doing your duty. I appreciate you. Thank you to John Medeski, who says, blackface Stern. We didn't forget about that. Shout out to Michael Critchlow, who says, October the 6th to the 12th, 2024. It's National Fire Prevention Week. Brothers and sisters, please check your smoke alarms. Absolutely. Speaking of that, mine went off again last night. Like, it went off like fire. It did that. At like 4 a.m., I'm like, man, what is going on? But what happened was one of them was faulty, like an actual defective unit. Because I make sure I change all my batteries. I do all that. They never chirp. But it just went off because one was faulty. So I took it out completely, and I'm good ever since. I probably would just go get another one. Hopefully I don't have another issue because I'm reading online and a lot of those fire alarms got problems. But anyway, shout out to Michael Chris. I already read that one. Thank you to Black Suburban Dad Reviews, who says, last weekend my carry-on didn't get flagged, but the bin with my shoes, belt, phone, watch, and Trump hat did. You can't make this stuff up. Oh, yeah. Look at this extremist traveling with a Trump hat. Where is he going? Is he going to a January 6th rally? Is he going to an underground Klan meeting? What's really happening? You already know what it is. Absolutely. Thank you to None Your Business for becoming an ABL supporter. Thank you to Blessed, who says, how do we get the impeachment process started? That's a good question. Maybe y'all know in the comments. Thank you to Hail Mary, who says, ABL, do you have an opinion on Kamala's ancestry? She not black. I mean, like I said before, at best, her father is black and white, at best, which is up for dispute. But let's just say her father is black and white. And her mother is straight from the Indian subcontinent, southern India, not black at all. So if her dad is black and white and her mom is 100% Indian, then if my math serves me correctly, at max, she's 25% black. Now, how does that make you black? If you are 50% Indian, 25% white, and 25% black, how do you get black from that? Now, on the other hand, I've heard from various sources that her father is not black at all, which is why he's not come out and say anything about Kamala. He was not at the inauguration, although he's still living. Yes, he is. Where has he been? Why haven't I heard about him? We're talking about Kamala going to the media and hiding from the press. Where is he at? What I've heard is that he is not black at all. From some people, they say that he is Irish and Indian, as in, red dot. So her mom is 100% Indian. He's half Indian. So she's 75% Indian and 25% white. Where the black at? You know what I think happened? I think that when she went to California with her mom, she had a black nanny and she got some of that type of black woman energy. So then they try to say that she's black because she has dark skin and has this type of way she speaks because of the nanny that she grew up with. But in reality, racially, she's not that. It's a lie. But anyway, I'm getting triggered. Shout out to Halliburton for Life 2002 says, Joe Biden is my favorite vegetable. Shout out to you. All right. We got calls on deck. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. The number will always be in the description. It's right there in the ticker. You see it right there, 434-658-1220. And there's also an email in the description. You could be right here, bottom left-hand corner of the screen. If Skype don't work right, don't blame me, blame the white man, because it ain't my fault. All right, so shout out to you guys. Yeah, so Kamala, I'm not really... At best, 25% black. That don't make you black. If 25% black makes you black, then I'm white because I'm right around that as far as other things that's not black. Anyway, let's keep on. Let me get my sound together. All right, let me get my sound together. And then we're going to get into the calls. All right, there we go. 559, you don't know who I'm speaking to.
ABL, Patrick from California. How are you?
Oh, well, man, about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing okay. I could be better. Really feeling for these people, man. To be in their shoes, to go out into your front yard, find 2-3 dead people on your front lawn and a vehicle down your street, in your trees. And then you go and apply for $750 measly dollars that the government can't even promise you. And then the roads in and out of your town are completely destroyed or blocked. So you won't be able to vote and you won't be able to get the necessary supplies for survival. No water, no food. So I'm just curious, what do you think is going to happen with all of this? What are these people going to do? How are they going to react? It worries me. And, you know, I just was thinking that, you know, I'm not trying to instigate anything or say anything, but, you know, man, I mean, when you look at the history of this country and when our citizens start to lose out big with their taxes, not taking care of them or going towards things that that it's not supposed to, then you know, you start seeing some real problems. But I just was wondering what your take was, man. Do you think that these people are going to eventually get the help that they need, and FEMA's going to eventually come through? They're going to change things in Congress and get the funding for them, or do you think that just because these people are voting for Trump and the majority of them, I know that there is a state that they're not, but in the few states that are affected that are Trump supporters, that they're just going to put these guys on the back burner and ignore them?
I think what'll happen is, regardless of whether FEMA comes through or not, it's going to be the people out there making it happen the same way it is now. Because in a lot of these areas, especially up in the mountain, like Western North Carolina, Appalachia, they've been forgotten by the government. They've been kind of just ignored. So it's not anything new for them to be ignored, to not have anybody help them. They're really self-sufficient. So it'll be the people coming through more than anybody else. If the government comes through or not, it's going to be up to the people to do it. And like I said, they're really resilient out there. They have a lot of skills to be self-sufficient. So that'll be what happens, in my opinion.
I hope so, man. I really am praying every single day, because I know that there's people really hurting out there, needing insulin, needing water, food, medical supplies, you name it. And it's getting very sketchy. I mean, sooner or later, people are going to start really getting in dire straits. Anyway, concerning Kamala Harris with the Glock topic, you know, they kind of have her in a corner now, don't they? So I'm curious what she's going to do moving forward on the gun issue itself in a whole. Do you think that she's just going to, like, renounce the fact that she is a gun owner and just, you know, say, oh, you know, I sold my gun to a buyback program or got rid of it. I'm no longer, you know, a gun owner, and I'm not for the Second Amendment, you know, as far as people owning, you know, AR-15s, and which is an Armalite, like what you said, and, you know, utilizing their Second Amendment right? Or do you think that she's going to actually pivot, like how she's done with everything else, and do a 360 and then be more pro Second Amendment, just looking from that sort of perspective? I was wondering your take.
Well, what'll happen is she'll try to talk about the whole assault rifle thing, weapons of war, all this, that, and the third. She'll try to make that argument make sense. Although it doesn't, to those of us who understand about guns, she'll make it make sense to those who don't know any better. She'll just play to the ignorance of the American people from her point of view.
I agree. I think at this point, anything that she does do will make her look extremely ignorant. So I agree with you. The smartest thing that she can do is just play it off ignorant and dumb, and just act like, you know, that it's just going in one ear and out the other. You know, I also was wanting to get your take on the migrants in Springfield. Now, I seen your video that you just posted a couple days ago, or actually yesterday, with the journalist who was interviewing the migrant, and he confirmed that, yes, you know, it is common that these people do eat animals. And, you know, it's kind of, it's surreal, but at the same time, very spooky to me that these people in Ohio, you know, are going to these town halls and are being dismissed by their city officials about this, because these people, I don't know whether or not they do have ties to gangs in Haiti, or, you know, ties to barbecue or whatnot. But, you know, where does the buck stop in saying that these people are going to quit with just eating cats and dogs and ducks? I mean, do you think they're going to make the next step and be like that homeless guy in California who was caught on a leg? You know, it just kind of, it's just crazy to me, man. And I just was wondering, do you think, how do you think they're going to solve this problem? Do you think it's going to wind up having to be like an issue where the people are just going to say enough and just be out in the streets about it? Or do you think that the government eventually will pull through and solve this problem?
Well, as far as the migrants, they ain't going to do all the cannibalism. I don't see that happening. But I think what's going to happen is, in order to solve it, the government got to pull the funding. That's it, because that's what's keeping everything afloat. That's why the migrants are here, because they're getting funded from taxpayer money. So once the funding is over, that'll pretty much be that, man. But thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
Thanks, ABL. Take care.
All right. Shout out to the caller. All righty, Les, what's going on?
Hey, ABL, how are you?
It's all good. What's going on?
Just want to go ahead before I start, because it's very interesting. Your show today, so thank you so much for that. And I also want to give a huge shout out to the chat, because they're lit all the time.
Absolutely.
So I actually want to go ahead and talk about the two appearances that Kamala did. She went on The View, and then she went on, I believe it's Howard Stern, right? They were showing.
Yes.
So you know what's so funny, and I know a lot of us, you especially, people that follow your channel and support you, we already know the deceit and the lies behind everything that Kamala spits from her mouth. And it's very interesting how she goes on The View. She was asked if there was anything that she would do differently, right, from Biden. And she goes and she turns around and basically says there's not a thing that comes to her mind, right? And she also added that she's been a part of most of the decisions that has had an impact, right?
That's right.
So questions, right? It automatically is like, whoa. Like, what do you mean by that? Okay. So what about her not doing her job as a border czar, right? Let's not forget that. Because of her and Biden's administration disastrous border policies, they allowed an outrageous amount of illegals, right, to flood our American neighborhoods. And then all the flood of the drugs that are killing our fellow Americans. Okay, so we already have three things, right? Because we have three things there. And not just that, their disastrous Afghanistan pullout. Let's not forget that, right? How many soldiers did we lose? Was it like 7 or 13?
13.
Military.
13.
There we go. And then you have the horrific transformation of FEMA. And I'm only saying this, ABL, because obviously, and you've been showing it as well, you've been covering it, that FEMA's not doing much to help the victims of Hurricane Ellen, right? And it's crazy to me, but I don't know if you've heard of it. The Rasmussen reports went on actually Twitter, and I'm just like you. I don't think I could ever call it X. It's just Twitter. They go ahead and they actually tweet that local sheriffs have threatened to arrest FEMA workers if they hinder rescue aid work.
Okay, well that's good. I'm glad that that's going on. Some states kind of like taking a little bit of power back.
No, but see, they threaten. So like local sheriffs, I'm not sure what state, but this is what the Rasmussen reports put out, that they threaten to arrest FEMA workers if they hinder rescue and aid work.
So wait a minute. So the local people are trying to say that they will arrest FEMA, or is FEMA trying to arrest local people?
No, the local sheriffs.
Well, that's good, because the thing about it is a lot of the government agencies don't know what's going on. They kind of just get in the way. So,
right.
Yeah, I'm all for the states, because especially in like North Carolina, they know those mountains better than people that never been there before. So, yeah, I think that the FEMA, any kind of government agency, should be there sometimes in a support role for locals who know what's going on. Like, okay, the locals will tell you we need help with this, this, and this. That should be the way that they come in and support, in my opinion.
Right. But I find it mind blowing. And then this is the thing, like with FEMA. So FEMA, the money that they have been receiving from the Biden-Harris administration, they have been allocating those funds to fund the influx of illegals coming into our country.
Yes.
That's why, yeah, that's why there's no money left, right? And even though Harris wants to go out here and say, oh yeah, but we're going to give them 750, which is nothing. I can laugh at that. I mean, that's why a lot of people are not getting approved. Where's the money? Like FEMA cannot, take the money that they're already allocating to all these illegals to now help our American citizens with, this natural disaster that just happened. So we have that, right? And then she goes on the Howard Stern show, and she states she's not like Joe Biden. I just can't, and I think that she's trying hard, and the deep state's really just trying hard to paint her and actually dissociate her from the Biden administration. But that's kind of hard because, he chose you, sis, to be the VP. So, make it make sense type of a situation for everyone, right?
I agree.
It's insane, ABL. I think that's it's crazy. And I just want to go ahead and talk about how she avoids the question and she dodges the question about when she's asked about if she owns a gun, if she's ever shot it. And the whole reason why she wants to go ahead, and we obviously all know, but the reason why I have such a strong feeling about that, actually, and correct me if I'm wrong, is because, again, it's rules for thee, but not for me. So again, this is the whole narrative and the whole operation of a communist mindset, right? Marxist, is the simple fact that, well, we have to take control of the guns, right? So we have to take away the Second Amendment from the citizens so that way they cannot fight back and they have no way to protect themselves. So that way the government has the ultimate power. And that's really what she's doing there. She can't sit there and be like, oh yeah, I own these guns and I go shooting and I go hunting and it's awesome. She can't talk about that because she's on the other side of the spectrum where she's like, no, we need to ban assault weapons and this and that. Well, ma'am, what exactly does that mean? Because if we're talking about assault weapons, then we're talking about all of them. And it's funny how they sit there and they just try to use certain buzzwords. Oh no, but it's just like military grade. Sis, we don't got military grade. We cannot walk into a Walmart. We cannot walk into a local gun shop and buy military grade weapons. It's ridiculous. But like I said, I think it's just the minority of her supporters that think that way. And I am so happy that the majority of America is waking up. So like I've said before, this is something that I do feel we all had to be taken through this path. And I'm glad because I know a lot of people are waking up, ABL. I don't know if you've noticed it as well.
Absolutely. Right on.
Alrighty then. Well, I'll just leave it at that note. I want to wish you a wonderful night. Everybody in the chat, wonderful night and God bless.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Bye.
All righty. Shout out to Les. Great call. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go to 267. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Bill. How you doing?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
Yeah, sorry. I had to turn the stream off in the background.
All right. What's going on? I hear you well. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. All right. So the one question I wanted to ask. Well, I like how you covered the one video with the migrants and the Haitians. So basically, one guy just came out and flat out said it. He said, "Yeah, we eat cats." He said not all Haitians do it, but he said it's a pretty common practice in Haiti of eating cats.
Yeah, it's a regular thing, and it's like, it's okay if you do that in your country where you at. It's okay. Just like in China, they eat dogs. That's what they do. That's their country. I'm not going to go over there and try to tell them how they're going to, what protein to eat, because they might want to tell us, you can't eat cow, you can't eat pig. It's like, how you going to tell me? I'm going to eat pork if I want to. I'm going to get a whole brisket. I'm going to take it straight to the face. I'm going to do whatever I want. If I want to eat possum, if I want to eat armadillo, if I want to eat crocodile, I'm going to do it. Over there, they may eat cats. In China, they eat dogs. But guess what? You can't come over here and be eating stray cats, pet cats. You can't be going to the park and just taking the Canadian geese and eating those. I like duck. I've eaten duck quite a bit. Duck is delicious. But I can't go down to the pond and get some bread in my hand to feed it. And then when I lure the duck to me, I snatch it up and kill it in the park and not eat it right there. I can't do that. But see, what happens is these people don't have any kind of cultural integration at all, because all they're here to do is work and get money from the government. That's it. As far as anything else, learning how to drive, learning the cultural norms, they don't care because it's all about the money.
Yeah, that is true, because I've gotten like Lyft and Uber from a few immigrants that act like they don't know how to drive. Like they just drive so slow, like they're like scared to drive. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? Why are you acting like you're scared to drive? And I was like, oh, okay. So
they can't drive. So, that's the thing. They don't learn how to, over here, we got to actually, have driving lessons and stuff like this. We got to actually, learn a certain way. But they come over here, they go through a whole process where they could just bypass all that and they could just drive. No license, no insurance, no nothing. It's just out there on the road. And a straight missile, like I was saying before, where the one migrant in Springfield had hit a school bus full of children and flipped it, and one child died on the first day of school last year.
Yeah, that was insane. And yeah, it was crazy with the whole ducks thing, because I stayed impartial. I was like, I'll wait till more evidence come out, because I wasn't too sure in how everybody is saying Trump was wrong for repeating it. And then here you go. And I bet you that one video you did probably won't even go viral, like how the Haitian said, yeah, they do eat cats over in their culture. He said not all of them, but it's a pretty common practice in their culture. And everybody that said, oh, Trump was a liar, he shouldn't have repeated that, I bet you they're not going to come across that. They're not even going to try to come across that video, because they said there's no evidence that was going on. And then you have the one Haitian migrant saying, yeah, we do that. I was like, wow, ain't that something? One more thing before. I'm going to say one more.
The funniest part is that they were trying to tell us that the coronavirus started because the Chinese were eating bats. They wanted us to believe that was their official thing, which was a lie, because they knew from the beginning that it was a lab leak, because you have the lab right there in Wuhan. It was right there. That's what happened. They knew that the whole time. But the story was some random Chinese dude ate a bat and spawned a virus. But go ahead.
Oh, yeah. And one more question I wanted to ask you is I wanted to ask you about the United Nations. Do you feel like they're a useless organization?
Pretty much.
Like the UN?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't see what they I don't see their benefit, really.
Yeah, because I've been hearing a lot that the United Nations is useless. They don't stop foreign conflicts. They fail to stop a lot of foreign wars. And a lot of the people who are from the countries who are in there have major human rights violations, the people who are running the UN. So I feel like I kind of feel like they're useless too. And most of our US dollars goes to fund the UN.
Well, that's a whole different story. But yeah, I'm not really necessarily a big fan of the UN.
Gotcha. All right. Well, thanks for taking my call, ABL.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate you. All right. Shout out to my man for the call. Anonymous caller. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's happening?
Hey, hey, but why you keep promoting these videos when there was no evidence that the Haitian and the Spring that were relocated in Springfield, Ohio, they're eating cat and dogs?
So what did I promote?
Yeah, I know you promoted videos. Some pastor sharing on him. He's Haitian or Haitian descendant, and I guess he was asking a kid that they eat cats eat cats and dogs in Haiti. And apparently the kid responded that was true, that they eat cats in Haiti. But the question is not whatever they eat cats or dogs in Haiti. The question is if they did it in Springfield, Ohio. If the answer is no, that should end it there. Shame on him, and apparently he was a family member, because he put in the jeopardize the risk of that kid that it could even be killed. How the situations are now. But
wait. Hold up. Who's going to kill the kid? Excuse me, sir. Who's going to kill the kid?
Dude, we living in a very
Answer the question. Answer the question. I don't got all night. Answer the question. Who's gonna kill the kid?
Anyone could come and kill him because they think they're eating the cat or their dogs.
Who would do that?
Who Anthony, we live in a very sensitive society now. You know that.
Okay, so is it my fault?
Why you wanna look, Anthony? You know how many bomb threats they've been getting in the hotel they're staying?
Okay, so is it my fault? Are you trying to blame?
I'm not saying that is your fault. I'm not saying that's your fault, but why are you contributing to the promotion?
they put it out. They got a YouTube channel.
Okay.
They got a YouTube channel. Sir. They put it out on their own YouTube channel. You got 3 Haitian men, full-grown men, that put it out on their YouTube channel. So you trying to blame me for them putting their own stuff out there? Really? Is that how that goes? So, hey, I got a YouTube channel. I get on my channel. I record it, edit it, upload it, make a thumbnail, all of that. And I don't want nobody to watch it. And if somebody watches it and it get a lot of attention, then the person who gave it the attention is the reason for a problem. Look, but see, what's funny is when you talk, I don't even hear you. So whatever you said as I was talking, I didn't hear a word. And nobody heard you either. So you might as well just go ahead and respond to what I just said.
Okay, so there's no evidence.
So the question was, is it my fault when they put it out there themselves? Yes or no?
No, it's not your fault. But
all right then. So it's not my fault. So that talking point is defeated. What's your next thing?
So my question is, you contributed to the promotion.
You said it's not my fault. So what are we talking about? You're saying you're trying to say I contributed. It's not my fault. They put it out. So it's like, look, you put a video out there. Any video you put out can go viral. Any video for whatever the reason may be. Maybe the algorithm pick it up. It don't matter. Once it's out there, it's out there. They put it out. These Haitian men decided to put it out there. I didn't interview them. It's not my video. I reacted. So don't blame me. So again, we can move on because I killed your talking point. Let's move on to the next thing, shall we?
Okay. So just for the sake of the education, just so you know. So when you say that we sending money to Ukraine and sending money to, I don't think you mentioned Israel. I don't know, for whatever reason.
I did. I sure did. No. I said everything. I said we're funding. Okay. Excuse me. I'm gonna just, you try to like say I was trying to like protect Israel, whatever. I don't care nothing about nobody. I care about the truth. What I said earlier was that we're funding the whole thing. We're funding Lebanon. We gave Lebanon some money because Israel hit them, and we also fund Israel, and we also fund the Palestinians, and we also fund the Jordanians, and we also fund the Saudis and the Iraqis and the Iranians. We fund the whole situation, but there's never a problem with giving them money. But somehow it's an issue with Americans getting money. Go ahead.
So let me help you out to educate you. And I educated you before, but I'm going to educate you again. 3 minutes. Okay. Number one is this funding is passed by Congress, so Republicans and Democrats. That's one thing. The second thing is the major beneficiary of this funding is American companies. The money doesn't go directly to maybe Israel. I could be wrong, but I don't know. I know that it doesn't go directly when it comes to Ukraine and when it comes to Lebanon, because this funding is done to American contractors. Check how much is the stock, the price of the stock for Raytheon, GTE. These are the companies that have the, even Elon Musk, one of his companies, is the largest beneficiary of this because some satellite that is building. So this notion that we send money there, cash, is just dumb and ignorant. The other thing.
So excuse me. So we didn't just send Lebanon a bunch of money in aid. We didn't do that.
We don't send money.
So we didn't send Lebanon a bunch of money in aid. Okay, go ahead.
Shut up. You shut up.
No, sir. I don't shut up on my show. You shut up on my show because guess what? I got this. Look, I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna turn the volume up, then they can hear you talk. Okay, now you quiet because you know what you're doing. When I turn this lever down, when I turn the lever down, nobody can hear you. And I can't hear you either. So when you're talking, it's like pointless. You're just talking to yourself at that point. But you said Lebanon did not get money from the United States in aid recently. Okay, next. What's your next point?
That's not what I said. What I say is
So did they get the money or not? Yes or no? Answer the question.
No, they don't get money.
So you said they didn't get the aid. Now you're saying they did get the aid. So, okay, whatever you want to say, yes or no on that one, move on.
Okay, the American contractors are the top beneficiary of these contracts. And who work in these American companies? Americans. So they are not benefiting directly to people in Lebanon. Go through a third party there is another contractor in Lebanon that is an American company from the military. So I'm gonna move on. The other thing is you keep saying, oh, but the money that they get, but there's no money for Americans. Number one is Congress to pass that budget. The majority of Congress people in Congress, in the House of Representatives and the Congress, that did not increase funding for natural disasters were Republicans. We're not Democrats. We're Republicans that were affected for people for the hurricanes. And this notion that we're giving the funding, the funding from FEMA to illegal aliens and we don't give them to Americans is just bizarre. It's just you don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so here's the question. Did we give any FEMA money to illegal aliens, migrants, asylum seekers, anything like that? Did we give any money to them? Yes or no for FEMA? Hello?
Well, if the funding...
Hello? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. Okay, so again, first it was ridiculous. Now you're saying we did do it. So it's weird.
We don't just give them money. You keep saying this is stupid allusion that we give them money. We don't give money. Everything's going to third party contractors.
But you just said we are.
No, we don't give them money directly. This funding is in Congress. You know what
all right. So look, so you're saying that we do give money for the purpose, but we don't give the money directly to like a Lebanese guy in the trench coat and a pair of dark glasses on. Okay. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if the money goes to an intermediary or straight to the president of Lebanon. It's irrelevant. The point is that the American people are not getting the money in the case of a disaster like a hurricane. That's the problem. The problem is that there's no problem with that money going to where it needs to go for those other purposes, for the migrants, for foreign people, Lebanon, Taiwan, Israel. There's no problem with that money. It's never an issue with that money. But when it comes to American citizens, it's all kind of roadblocks and challenges. Now, whoever's responsible, it's irrelevant. The point is there's a problem. And if you don't see it as a problem, you're just not really being serious.
Not a problem. There's not a problem. There's not a problem.
Okay. All right. Have a nice night. That's enough. Have a nice night. I'll get to one more call. Then I'll wrap it on up, put the bow on top. Let's go. 504, you're online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. It's Alien Spaceship.
All right, man. What's going on?
All right. Shout out to all the callers and the chat. And also, I want to say that you did very good against Ivan again. And he was confusing me.
Yeah, it was all over the place because he would say, yes, we are giving an aid, but no, we're not giving an aid because it goes to a third party. It doesn't matter. The point is that the money is not going to the American people. That's the whole thing. The specific person who gets the money is inconsequential.
Exactly. It sounds like, like a cartoon to me, like when he talks, but yeah, I don't agree with the points and stuff he says, and like saying to shut up on your show. It's all immature.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So basically what I've been doing was I've been keeping up with Hurricane Milton, and it's, as you all already know, it's very bad, and it hit Florida, and it caused tons of tornadoes over there.
Oh yeah. It's always like that during the big storms because all the rain and the wind and everything, these big storms will have tornadoes. And a lot of that was from the outer bands. It hadn't even hit with the eye yet. It was just the outer bands doing that, unfortunately.
Oh, absolutely. And that's why they're urging people to evacuate. And some people may not have been listening, but, people got to understand the severity of these things and always take the precautions that are necessary to not be scared, but be prepared. A lot of people were watching. Another thing that I found interesting about the hurricane was that in the eye and around it, they're seeing on the radar that there's a bunch of birds in it.
Oh, that's crazy. That's like they're kind of like maybe the flight pattern got interrupted or something. I don't know how that worked.
Yeah, so basically, like, say it's going over Mexico and everywhere, and when it's going through, these birds get, like, caught up in it, like what you just said. And, yeah, they were just floating in it the whole time, and, they're glad, I guess they would be glad to get to Florida because they were, flying that whole time. But, yeah, it's horrible for the birds, but, hopefully they're doing better now because they were saying the birds made landfall.
Oh, wow. Yeah, hopefully, they're all right.
Yeah, and I just think, it's absolutely, although hurricanes happen long before we were here and you experienced them too, I have. And yeah, but it's really unfortunate that these very severe hurricanes have really affected these areas over there, like in the Appalachia with Helene rather, and this one with Milton. But I like the coverage with the internet because us on the internet seem to get the word out more and better than all the news and stuff. So I mean, that is a good thing.
Yeah, definitely. And it's always good to have, independent sources covering it. It's just better overall when you're able to have that balance and especially to keep the mainstream media in check a little bit.
Exactly, because a lot of times, they could get out of line and they could say things just for certain agendas, as we know, and sometimes they don't have things correctly fact-checked. And also with the internet, we all are more familiar with the internet than them, I think. And we get, I get information, before Google gets information because all the, stuff everywhere. So the technical advancements are very important.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And, I think that, with the advancements that are good in society, but there's also problems culturally speaking because there's all these different conflicts and wars going on everywhere. And my uncle in England was saying back when he was my age that although England may have a little bit different than America because America had the Vietnam War and stuff, but a lot of people, we didn't have all these certain conflicts in the country and the world in general at certain points. And now, because a lot of young people have to worry about different things, all people of all ages. And I think that in some ways, society is going backwards. And I think it has to do with, with the media causing division and also bad policies that are being made.
I agree with you 100%. A lot of that is by design. They try to just engineer society a certain way to make certain things happen. And it's really pretty bad what they're doing.
Right. And also, I think that a lot of people, are starting to wake up to it, but it's unfortunate because you have people that have been, I believe, in my opinion, have been brainwashed by the media because certain things will trigger them, like the Orange Man will trigger them, or certain actions will trigger them, and they'll see Kamala talk about the Glock or talk about something, and they'll think that she's being honest, but I think, in my opinion, she's being real deceptive with the stuff she's saying.
100% correct, because it's all about just trying to appeal to the American people, trying to come across as regular, trying to be electable. But I kind of see through it, so it's not working very well.
Right. And, I think that they're like magicians and, and con artists because they'll go and before, during the riots that occurred, in 2020, they'll talk about, BLM. And then now they're trying to be they support guns and they have pew-pews and stuff like that. But, it gives off mixed signals.
Right on.
Yeah. And also, my opinion about Tim Walz is that, yeah, he certainly, to me, doesn't seem like somebody that was in the military. He seems very goofy, like you were saying about the politicians. And I just think that the way he conducts himself, he seems extremely nervous.
Always nervous, very nervous, never ready for the big moment. Maybe he can just be a Minnesota governor or something like this, but anything higher than that, he's not prepared. It's pretty clear. You can see it in his eyes.
Yeah. Another thing that I remember I was watching the reruns to refresh my memory about 2016, and Trump went through a lot, being bullied by all those other people. And I think Jeb Bush and a lot of those other ones are very goofy, but the way Trump comes off, as a leader and, he ran a company, and the way he presents himself is much better than how the other people presented themselves. Because when you're dealing with all these other foreign leaders and dictators and stuff like that, you can't be, a cartoon.
Right. Exactly. You got to be serious.
Right. And also, I think that, seeing how the strike ended and stuff like that, it seems that things are calming down, but people, we're having all the panic buying the toilet paper and stuff like that. But I still don't think people are always preparing, though.
Nah, most people, they just kind of react when something happens out of fear.
Right. And also, I think that this country has been extremely divided, and it's good if it could come together. And, speaking of the country, I just remembered something where they're talking about the different type of hurricanes that have happened. And there is something called Typhoon Tip. And if it hit the United States, this happened over in Japan, but it would cover half the country.
Yeah, we don't want nothing like that, obviously. That's going to be a big problem. But luckily, throughout a lot of the country, we got certain type of terrain and the mountains and whatnot that, and it's also really big. You know, Japan or some kind of island nation is much different than hitting the United States. But thank you for your call, man. As always, definitely appreciate you.
Okay, bye.
All right, shout out to my man for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. Maybe I got time for one more. Maybe one more. I'll do a little bit of overtime, just a little teeny bit. And if you like what you're hearing so far, if you like what you heard tonight, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Shout out to y'all. Really appreciate y'all. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. All right. I think that'll be a wrap. We're already at 11:11. I'll see you guys again live on Saturday, right? Today's Wednesday. So I'll see you guys live on Saturday. Same bat time, same bat place, 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Alrighty. And shout out to everybody for watching, retweeting, super chat, and doing whatever you do. I could not do this show without you. Shout out to everybody for all the mods, keeping the trolls in check. I appreciate that. Thank you to everybody that's been here doing your thing, being the biggest sponsor. And of course, I'm here all throughout the week putting out pre-recorded content for you guys. This is also a podcast you're listening to right now. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platforms, whether they be Google Play, Spotify, Apple iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. Ain't that the spiritual number? It's 11:11. Shout out to y'all. All righty. Did I get all super chats? Let me just make sure I got everybody. And I think I got two more. Thank you to the Forgotten Pittsburgher. Great name. The Forgotten Pittsburgher says, check out at Forgotten Pittsburgher to see more footage of Butler, Pennsylvania rally. 9/11 survivor Joe Torrio was there. So shout out to you. I'm going to put your handle in the chat, boss. The Forgotten Pittsburgher. So I guess that's, what's that, Instagram, Twitter? Probably, is that all platforms? Again, the Forgotten Pittsburgher. Great name. Thank you to Kayesh Poshumus, who says, what constructive criticism would you give callers? I don't know, man. You know, when people call to a show, sometimes it could be nerve-wracking if it's your first call. And I understand your heart beating and stuff. You don't know what to say. Just kind of relax. That's the main thing I would say. Just relax. It's you and I. Understand that it's other callers too. You can't, hog the time too much. You kind of understand when you're watching the show how the calls go. That's the main thing. But the main thing would be don't be nervous. Thank you to Laura Catherine for the thanks heart emoji. I appreciate you for that. But that'll be a wrap for me. Shout out to you guys. Of course, I'll be back live again on Saturday, but I'm here all throughout the week doing pre-recorded content. And until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.